but this one's certified, background check, shows up on time, and can install all the ceiling fans.
Heating, cooling, electrical, and plumbing. Trusted pros who do it right.
CharityClaim.com. Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Scores. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Let's go, friends. Let's have a day today. What do you say? It is a beautiful Thursday.
It is.
In St. Louis, July 30th. And there's baseball this afternoon here in St. Louis. Amy Marks Scores, Chris Ronji. Good morning to all of you. Join the show with calls and text at 314-436-7900. Leave us voice messages on the Odyssey app. That is the app you have on your phone to listen to the show and listen to the podcasts when the show is over. They're all available for you. They're also available on KMOX.com. And if you want to watch us, you can do that too. We are streaming live on Facebook, on YouTube, and we are on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX.
Time now for the top of the order. The top three stories everyone will be talking about.
There was some game at Busch Stadium last night. The Cardinals walk it off in extra innings. That was after falling behind in the 10th. That was an exciting game last night.
But not as exciting as the kangaroo that's on the loose in southeast Missouri. Apparently, Rufus, a 4-year-old kangaroo, he got loose, and he's out there, Jerry.
He's out there punching people, too. Probably. The U.S. has renewed airstrikes on Iran. Major Garrett will join us at 10:30 to discuss that never-ending war and other issues from Washington, the chief Washington correspondent at 10:30. And we cannot wait to speak to him.
Herrera swings, and he drives that one. It goes to the gap in left center field. The ball gets down. It goes to the wall. We're tied. Walker around third. The throw to the plate. It's a Redbird winner! A Redbird winner! Light up the night in downtown St. Louis. The Cardinals came back with 3 in the 10th inning to beat the Cubs 3-2.
That's one
fun.
of John Rooney's better calls in a long time.
Yeah.
He's always got good ones, but man, that was a lot of fun last night, and I have to be honest with you. Watching the game, Pete Crow Armstrong hits the home run, and he just, as they say, pimps the hell out of it. As he's running the bases, he threw the bat down. It was, if you're a Cubs fan, I'm sure that was a hell of a lot of fun. When it happened, I thought, okay, well, there goes that. But I kept the TV on anyway. Kept it on.
Because you paid for it.
Because I paid for the TV. You know, I'm paying to watch this team, damn it.
Right. That's how I feel. $20 a month I'm invested in this team.
I am sorry to the Cardinals. I am sorry to the Cardinals fan base that I had completely given up on it. And I said, there's no way they're coming back with 3 runs in this inning. The way they've been scoring runs lately, no chance. Absolutely no chance. But what did they do? They came back and they did it to Von Herrera, who could potentially be a trade piece for the Cardinals here before next Monday. I didn't think they were going to do it. They did it. That was a really fun night for those who were at Busch Stadium. So if you had tickets and you stuck it out, and after PCA hit that home run, you stayed in the ballpark. You didn't say, let's go beat traffic.
I love to beat traffic.
If you stayed in that ballpark, good on you, because you saw a really fun finish. That was great.
That was really fun. As you mentioned, the PCA home run, where he was really leaning into it, cupping his ears with his hands like, hey, let's hear you more. Because, of course, the Tarps Off crew, the crowd booing him, taunting him, whatever. And yet again, he comes up with a huge home run. And I like.
And so what you're referring to the time recently before the All-Star break where they were chanting overrated at him, and he promptly hit a home run like right at their section. Right
there into Tarps Off. And
Which was, just to remove yourself from your fandom, that was a really great baseball moment.
And I love that PCA exists and that he plays for the Cubs, because we were talking about this earlier this morning when Tom Ackerman swung by the office. It's fun to have a villain. It's fun. He's he's kind of like a villain for us. I mean, of course, a big part of that is because he's on the Cubs, and also his personality. He leans into it. He's Mr. Hollywood. He loves to be it. He loves to be Mr. Hollywood. And you can say, oh, I hate that. great. It's fun to hate that.
That's exactly right.
It's fun. Like it's like, yeah, I hate it, but in a way I love it. I love that I have the opportunity to not like PCA.
The player you hate the most should be on your main rival.
Yeah.
He should be a Cub. And
he's good.
Yeah, he's
really
actually good. He's in the MVP conversation. So you've got that. And then meanwhile, Cubs fans can hate Jordan Walker, but he doesn't have nearly the same personality. He goes about his business completely differently. And I don't think either one way is better than the other. I know some people will say, just put your head down and play your game as best you can. And that's fine if you do that. It's also fine if you do it the way PCA does it. But I think I hope that what is going to happen here over the next couple of years as Walker's career grows and Pete Crow Armstrong continues to do what he's doing, that a real rivalry starts to develop. Because we know that there's the established Cardinals-Cubs rivalry that's been around for ages. But to have actual like MVP caliber players on each team that you can hate if you're on the other side, that's what it's all about, man. That's sports.
It's
and
fun.
I'm glad that we have a guy we can despise who is on that team, because that's the team you're supposed to.
I 100% agree. And he had that song, American Idiot. He's really talented.
What?
Billy Joe Armstrong.
Oh, that's right.
That wasn't even close, dude. That was
Every time I hear Pete Crow Armstrong, eyeliner comes to mind. It just does.
okay. So, that was a fun night.
It was really, really fun.
The series will wrap up today. There is a 12:20 pregame show and a 1:15 first pitch from Busch. And thankfully, it will not be 137 degrees today.
I know.
It'll be manageable today.
I know.
So get out there.
It's a great...
Knock off work early.
Yes. I can't suggest it highly enough. I was already running around downtown and the Arch and Midtown and SLU. I'm telling you, our city's gorgeous. You should get downtown. Maybe don't even go to work at all. Go downtown early, walk around a bit.
Dude, I think skipping work, in fact, I think I'm going to leave in a minute, but I think skipping work is one of the best activities you could ever do.
I think it's, yeah.
And by the way, I should make a note of this, that this is the last game the Cubs will have in St. Louis this year. So if you want to catch this rivalry at Busch Stadium, today is your last opportunity.
That's actually a really good point, because if you want to boo Pete Crow Armstrong, if you want to watch Cubs at Busch, and as Ronj mentioned, it's really nice out.
It is.
For summer. It is not bad for summer.
For a St. Louis summer?
Go to Busch Stadium. If you're not at Busch Stadium, what's wrong with you? Megan Lynch, news anchor here.
She's going to be there?
She's going to be there. She had her Cardinals shirt on.
She did. Her Go Crazy Folks shirt?
Her Go Crazy Folks.
Nice.
While we're speaking about St. Louis, would you like a quick update on the Panera situation?
They're still dead to me.
Yeah, Panera is dead to us. So Panera is offering St. Louis-based employees salary increases and a relocation package or packages of up to $50,000 as the company moves its headquarters to the Boston metro area. So the new CEO, he's been there since 2023, is from the Boston area. So he's moving the company there. And employees who are based in St. Louis and don't want to make the move are being offered voluntary severance packages. And one Panera employee, because they're saying, yeah, the raise isn't that much, it's a 10% salary increase, and they're being offered up to $50,000 to relocate. One Panera employee described it as, quote, a quiet layoff of hundreds of employees because there's a return to office mandate, which would require all of these hundreds of employees to move 1,200 miles to the northeast. And so, like I mentioned, most employees are being offered a 10% salary increase. Some are being offered up to $50,000, but a lot of people who have their roots here and say, you know, even if you offer me $20,000 to move and a 10% salary increase, it's not worth it to uproot my entire life and family to move to brand new city, Boston, which is also way more expensive and a very different living experience. Don't get me wrong. I love Boston. Maybe there's somebody who's excited to move to Boston, but there's probably a lot of families who want to stay in St. Louis, whose kids are in school, whose families are here, and they're thinking, sorry, 10% increase isn't enough.
So this is basically an invitation.
Yes.
They're saying you could come out here and we'll give you a $50,000 raise, maybe. And they know you're not going to take it.
Yeah.
Also, where they're going it's called Weston, Massachusetts, which is a half hour outside of Boston. So it's like moving to St. Charles. I don't know what Weston is like. Mm-hmm. Maybe it's nice. Maybe it's a pretty cool little town. I know nothing about it. I had never heard about it. I mean, I've heard about a lot of the suburbs there, but that was one is completely new to me. But it's not like you are moving to Boston proper. You'll be going to and I guess you could live in Boston proper if you want. And then
public transportation, probably.
You know what?
Do they have it? Because Chicago has great public transportation from
Boston
the suburbs.
does have they've got a good public transit system. They've got a good train. I don't know if it goes that far out west,
You'd think Boston would. But at any rate, that's a pretty big move. To me, that feels like minimum compensation for uprooting your life. And they say, too, I mean, especially now where a lot of business experts and advisors are saying that the number one way to increase your pay is to job hop, unfortunately, right? If you want to increase your pay, you work someplace, you go somewhere else. My guess is maybe some of these people will have an opportunity to make more at a different job if they can get it. I mean, we don't know what, necessarily what those job openings are for them. But yeah, it's a bummer.
And part of the job hopping thing is the reason you sometimes have to leave. It's not the only reason, but it's one of the biggest reasons that you have to leave is that if you're already in-house at a company, there's not necessarily this feeling on their part that they better give you a $20,000 raise or something because they're like, you're already here. You're already working. You know what I mean? Like we don't have to attract you away from somewhere else. So that's kind of why you have to leave. And so for a lot of these folks who don't want to go to Boston, they're going to be forced into that, which sucks for them. And, I think it's I don't know what the real benefit for Panera moving its headquarters out to Massachusetts really is other than the owner of it is from that area or has ties to that area. I don't know what the real benefit of it is beyond that. But I think for us here locally, it feels like a slap in the face a little bit. And they're not the only company who's done that to us. There are others. We talked about Charter Spectrum, for example. And we talked about the Rams famously, which is the one that really bothers St. Louisans and still stings a little bit. But anytime a company, when you're struggling to make a name for yourself and a major company like that leaves, it feels like a kick in the teeth a little bit. By the way, we do have a Twitter poll, and you should be following us on Twitter at Chris Amy KMOX. And our question of the week is, who is the biggest traitor to St. Louis? Is it Panera Bread or the Rams?
Wow, that's tough.
Yeah.
I haven't checked. I haven't checked since yesterday. I voted, but I haven't checked since yesterday.
It is pinned at the top at Chris Amy KMOX. I'm pretty sure I know how this poll is going to finish up, but if you want to vote, go do it at Chris Amy KMOX. We will be talking to Major Garrett at 10:30, as we mentioned. Also, who's going to join us at 10 o'clock? Matt Pauley.
Oh.
Talk a little baseball with him. Cardinals will finish up the series today at Busch Stadium against the Cubs. This is KMOX.
All right. So if you haven't called Rottler yet, what's up? I mean, get it taken care of. Knock something or check something off your to-do list. If you are planning, maybe some last-minute summer parties, or maybe you just want to barbecue outside on the deck or on the patio, listen to Cardinals ball, and you're really getting attacked and harassed by mosquitoes, they can really put a damper on a fun time. Did you know that Rottler has a comprehensive mosquito treatment plan that can reduce mosquito population for weeks at a time? Give them a call have them come out, get a free inspection, have them treat your yard for mosquitoes before your next party, and notice the difference. Also, with changing seasons, bugs start moving around. If you're maybe getting ants or roaches or spiders in your kitchen, in your bathroom, Rottler can take care of that too. Same thing with moles in your yard. If the tunnels are really tearing up the sod, tearing up the lawn, ruining your landscaping, Rottler has a comprehensive year-round plan, and when it comes to moles, they don't charge per mole. It is so you don't have to worry about it. No matter how bad the problem is, you know what the price is, and they'll take care of it. They really are the best. They're family-owned and operated as they have been for over 70 years. Rottler.com.
For years, Gone South has been a podcast about crime in the American South. But for our new season, we're widening the lens. Through deeply reported, narrative-driven stories, we're digging into the myths, scandals, and power structures that still shape the South, and, in a lot of ways, the country itself. Follow and listen to Gone South Season 5, an Odyssey podcast, available now on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, or wherever you get your shows.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells, like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you wash that all away with Game, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, no, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor-fighting power. New Game Plus with Oxy.
Sniff the difference. Veterans and active duty service members, when your call to service ends, your mission doesn't have to. Go from GI to IT in just a few months at My Computer Career. Prepare for a high-demand career in cybersecurity, protecting people, systems, and institutions from real cyber threats. Cyber warriors are needed now. Will you answer the call? Go to mycomputercareer.edu/CWP to learn more. That's mycomputercareer.edu/CWP, an Elite CompTIA certification partner. VA education benefits are available to those who qualify.
And Doug.
Hot dog! Get your hot dog!
Customize and save with Liberty Mutual.
Hey, what are you doing?
I like your method. Direct, to the point. A little loud, but...
Listen, people don't buy car insurance the same way they do hot dogs.
Not yet, but both are customizable.
Popcorn! Get your popcorn!
Hey, this is a hot dog area.
And customize and save area. Get a quote at libertymutual.com or with your local agent.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
I'm Bill Eigel. I'm a no on data centers. Last year, when a new hyperscale data center was up for a vote in St. Charles City, I'm the only candidate for county executive who stood with you in opposition. Meanwhile, Steve Ellman was writing op-eds in support of data centers. In fact, he spent $400,000 of your taxpayer money to identify 6 locations just for data centers in St. Charles County. I'm Bill Eigel, and if you don't want data centers in our county, then I'm asking for your vote on August 4th.
Paid for by Eigel from Missouri. Lisa Borchers, Treasurer.
I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you've been injured in a car accident, call America's largest injury law firm. For over 35 years, my mission has been to deliver more for our clients, to deliver more for you. Injured? Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
And Doug.
Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at libertymutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
A century strong. The voice of St. Louis. KMOX.
All right, we love to hear from you at 314-436-7900. Call or text. And here's the thing. There's a kangaroo on the loose, and we're going to get to it. But I have a quick question. We need to know what this is. So this audio that you're hearing was captured by my brother's Ring doorbell at 2:37 a.m. this morning. And it was not thunder. It was not raining, thunder, and lightning. His guess is that it was one of the meteors that breaks the sound barrier over St. Louis. There was a little bit of a flash, but not a big flash like you would normally see. So did anyone else hear a giant boom last night of something breaking the sound barrier?
I think it was a bomb. That's a bomb.
That's wild. That was
It's a
so
missile.
loud. It shook their house.
I think it's a missile from Kansas.
It could be.
I think they fired a missile in our direction. So we might as well open up a war against them.
Isn't that how
before.
the Mizzou-Kansas rivalry started?
Yeah, that's right.
Well, they
The
did
old border
say,
war.
Yeah, that's starting back up again. At any rate, a kangaroo is on the loose. This is Bloomfield, Missouri, Stoddard County. Rufus, the kangaroo, somehow escaped. They believe that he got spooked by an excavator.
Really?
And hopped away.
Well, I know it wasn't the excavator in the Soulard Mound because every time I go by that guy, he's just sitting in it on his phone.
So owner Don McClard says that Rufus is very affectionate. He loves to be in the home and to be cuddled. He will lie on your lap on the couch and watch TV.
Will he punch your face?
Yours probably.
They're kind of aggressive sometimes. Those roos.
I mean, you see the videos, yes. In Australia,
Yeah.
they're ripped. They're like all muscly. How is an
Yes.
animal muscly? It's the weirdest thing.
What do you mean? Their diets are perfect. They're
I just mean like
hopping around all the time.
it's a weird, it almost looks like a cartoon. Kangaroos don't look real. They look like cartoons.
You've probably seen the famous video from
Yes.
years ago. The guy, because the kangaroo was attacking the guy's dog. And so the guy goes up to him and just punches him in the face.
Yes.
He punches the kangaroo in the face. And the kangaroo looked at him like, what the hell was that?
Yeah, well, he deserved it. He was bothering his dog, but not Rufus. Rufus is very kind.
Well, you don't know if you put Rufus in the wild, you don't know what he's capable of.
Well, he doesn't like loud noises.
So that wasn't him, that boom last night?
How could Rufus make us break the sound barrier?
Maybe he's got a rocket launcher.
No.
Rufus is out there shooting.
Rufus
rocket
doesn't like
launchers.
loud noises, and so the McClards think that it was actually Chuck McClard's excavator that scared him because he was using the excavator and Rufus wasn't in his big
So this
pen.
guy, Chuck McClard,
Yeah.
he's got a kangaroo. Well, he used to have a kangaroo and an excavator. Things are going great for Chuck McClard.
He still has an excavator.
I know.
Yeah. And he also says the claw of the excavator may have scared the kangaroo because Rufus, they've had him for 4 years, and they said he's never tried to jump out of the cage or escape the cage. He's 4.5 years old. He weighs 60 to 70 pounds. When he's standing on his hind legs, he's about 4 feet tall.
I could take him.
No, you're not supposed to fight him, Ron.
I might have to.
Rufus wants to sit on your couch and watch TV,
Well,
have
now-
a beer
okay,
maybe.
I don't know how to put this to you, but now he's in an environment. He doesn't know where he's at. He's probably skeptical of everything. If you approach him, he might hit you.
Well,
you gotta be careful of Rufus.
The McClards say that kangaroos love any kind of forage, and they said with all the beans and corns out where they are, that he is, quote, in heaven. He's probably eating all the beans and corn.
Oh. Well, I hope Rufus
We
gets
gotta
back home.
be on the lookout for Rufus. We need to help Rufus. We need to get him home.
So we are told that artificial intelligence is supposed to help us in our everyday lives and at work, but it may not be doing what we want it to be doing, and it may not be helping companies in the way they are hoping it does. We're going to talk to HR technology lead analyst at the Society for Human Resource Management, Kenny Pyle, will join the show next on KMOX.
The trade deadline is fast approaching, and Cardinals news could break at any moment. Will they buy? Well, they sell. Every move shapes the future. Stay with KMOX Sports for breaking news, trade rumors, and expert analysis. KMOX is where you hear from the people making it.
There are things that pop up within a couple hours of the deadline that didn't seem to be at all possible.
On air, on X, at KMOX Sports, the voice of your Cardinals. KMOX.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC. Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
78 degrees and gorgeous out there. What are you doing? Get to Busch Stadium. Watch the Cardinals and Cubs. A high today of just 87. Tonight, clouds breaking. A low of 70.
Brought to you by Duke's Real Mayo.
Duke's Country Song. It's a song about award-winning chefs. Yes, chef. And why they choose Duke's Mayo. Get Duke's Mayo in store. It's got twang.
Every step matters. That's why Steve All and the entire team at the All Financial Group have signed up to walk and fundraise for the St. Jude Walk on September 12th. St. Jude's Children's Research Hospital is leading the way the world understands, treats, and defeats childhood cancer. And here's what makes them truly remarkable. Families never receive a bill from St. Jude, so parents can focus on one thing, and one thing only, their child. We want you to be a part of this. You can join our team and walk with us on September 12th or simply make a donation. And here's the good news. Steve will personally match every dollar you give up to $1,000. To donate or to register to walk with the All Financial Group, visit steveall.com. That's steveaul.com. Or call 636-230-8824 for more information. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, a registered investment advisor. All Financial Group LLC is not affiliated with St. Jude's Research Hospital and does not accept or collect donations on their behalf.
There's a saying, it takes a group of good men to build a barn, and only one to tear it down. Well, a few Jeff City politicians are at it again, tearing things down with Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. No on 5 and 4. 5 takes our money with higher sales taxes, higher taxes on gas, guns, and groceries, a sales tax hike on rent and diesel, seed and feed. 4 takes away our constitutional right to vote and go around the establishment politicians and to stop higher taxes. Takes away our safety valve, a vote of the people to stop or reverse a dumb idea like the everything tax. I'm a no. A heck no. No. No on Amendment 5. No on Amendment 4. No on both 4 and 5. Paid for by no on the everything tax.
If you've been hurt because of someone else's negligence, don't try to figure it out alone. Call the team at Cantor Injury Law. They've helped thousands of people across Missouri get the justice they deserve. 314-628-9999 or CantorInjuryLaw.com. Injured, you can count on Cantor.
The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Get inside your Redbirds in the 2026 season every Tuesday at noon. It's All Access with Cardinals manager Ollie Marmol on your voice of the Cardinals, KMOX.
Artificial intelligence has become a integral part of our lives, whether we want it or not. It is there. We end up using it a lot, even if you don't really want to. I might be a little averse to it in a lot of ways, but I'm still using it on occasion. And many companies are adopting artificial intelligence at work. So you might be using it at work, but it might be that AI is not necessarily making the product better, whatever it is you are selling. To talk about that with us, HR technology lead analyst at the Society for Human Resource Management, Kenny Pyle, is on the Quiver River Electric guest line. Good morning, Kenny. How are you?
Good morning. Doing great. How are you?
We're doing great. Okay, so first, before we get to just how beneficial or not beneficial artificial intelligence can be, do we have an idea of how many or what percentage of companies around the nation are adopting some form of artificial intelligence?
Yeah, we do. It's a little surprising. It's actually less than half of workers use AI for work, just 41%.
That's interesting. I thought it would have been a lot higher.
Yeah, me too.
Is it, when you say half of workers, just for clarity here, is it broken down by certain industries? Are we just talking about corporate America?
This is a corporate America. We surveyed almost 6,000 U.S. workers across all industries. And sure, there's variance between different industries. But when it comes to overall, what does the picture look like? Just 41%.
So the research that you have done, what are some of the key findings here?
Well, kind of the other point that mirrors that was a little surprising is 34% of workers don't use AI at all. We get this perception that AI is ubiquitous. Everyone is using it everywhere. Everyone's behind, need to learn more. But I think the messaging is really out in front of what's actually happening.
I've read stories online, there are a lot of online news stories and so forth, where I'm kind of shocked by what would be lack of editing. Maybe sentences are repeated or words are smushed together or the story itself is just really poorly written. And I find myself reading the story a couple of times, trying to figure out, am I the one who's going crazy here? And then at the bottom of the online page, you'll see that this story was put together by AI, pulling from several interviews. And it just is maddening to me. And I guess this recent survey found that the rise of AI may contribute to less quality control. My story's anecdotal, but I feel like I see that quite often.
You do. And I think that sentiment is only growing the more that we run into that. When we surveyed all these workers, 44% of those who work with AI said that they would classify some of the work they put out as AI slop. Just low quality, very quick to produce, but difficult on the end users to actually process it and review it. There's websites that are done like this. Lots of articles, unfortunately, are falling into this AI slop category. To combat that, we actually found that workers spending a decent amount of time correcting and reviewing the work that AI produces for them. So workers are saying that they save about 6 hours a week in creating work that they do with AI, but that they spend 4 hours reviewing and editing that work. So it's a net savings of 2 hours.
So I guess it's a net savings of 2 hours. That's not nothing, I guess.
But is the overall, overall the quality's got to be down, because even if you're fixing slop, it's not going to be as good as a correct product in the first place.
Yeah, I think that there's some room for debate on that. I think that if you have a human and AI collaboration, you're probably going to get through more content. You're going to be able to get more insights. The trouble is when someone maybe doesn't pay quite as much attention to that quality control on the way out, then you have that really disappointing experience like you had, Amy. You're just not alone with that. Everybody can relate to reading really poor quality AI work.
Kenny Pyle is with us from the Society of Human Resources Management, also known as SHRM. And this artificial intelligence, and a lot of companies are wanting employees to use it. It's not necessarily that employees are using it on their own volition. I mean, they are being told that they need to do it. Does the research show that companies may not be satisfied with the work that's being done?
I think there have been a lot of promises, a lot of big promises, and companies aren't really seeing a lot of those gains. Workers are saying that they improve their efficiency. They're saying they're seeing higher quality work, but we've been told that this is a absolutely transformative technology. And we're just not seeing that in the output. It's slow, it's incremental. A lot of that has to do with the way that if we're treating this just like a technology, we're only going to see small gains. If we start to realize, we need to actually really enable our workers, enable the cultures of our companies to embrace this and support them, then we actually start to see much better performance, not just when it comes to how much work are you able to create with AI, but workers are more likely to stay at their organization and more likely to be engaged if their workforce trains them, gives them an opportunity to use the AI in their work with a culture that is open and trusting. If they can trust their leadership, all of those things lead to much happier, more satisfied workers. So it can be a great thing. But I think a lot of times it's been just thrown at people and given as a mandate. And that's actually the lowest effective way of delivering. Threats or no training.
I've talked to quite a few friends who are in corporate America, and we all know in corporate America there's a lot of busy work and rolling of the eyes of just things that you have to do that take up time but aren't really that substantial. Even like you're working on a project and you're constantly making decks, for instance, that you have to present, and you feel like that just takes up so much time. I've talked to friends who do use AI for that busy work. And they like AI for just kind of summarizing the work they've done so that they can show the bosses, or in a meeting, say, throw this deck together so that I have something to present. And they've talked pretty positively about that. Are you seeing that of those who use AI in the corporate space, that is how they're using it, mainly to get rid of busy work?
Absolutely. There's some pockets where AI is absolutely taking off in that repeatable work, and work where you know what type of things you're getting in and what the output should look like, and you can check that. As long as you're having time to review the work, I do think it is great. It's somewhat like having an assistant that, as you said, can get you through that busy work, that grunt work that people really don't like. The challenge comes is making sure that critical judgment is staying involved there. If you're not using critical judgment, we're seeing much lower productivity coming out of workers, as well as their general willingness to stay in their organizations. They're just not as happy. So it's using AI where it makes sense and making sure that it is augmenting you. You aren't just kind of becoming a tool that AI uses to get stuff done. Make sure that you are taking the lead in how it's being used.
Talking with Kenny Pyle from the Society for Human Resource Management, and one of the major concerns, it's top 1 or 2 with artificial intelligence, is that it will end up wiping out certain careers, jobs around the world, and there will be no recourse for people who have lost their jobs because now AI is doing it for them and companies aren't hiring humans anymore. Is that still a valid concern? Are we overplaying that? Is it not as big of a deal as we think it might be?
It's not as big of a deal as people are making it out to be. There's certainly going to be roles that have already been largely automated. AI is pretty amazing. It can do a lot of things. But there is a human aspect that is remaining. In our research, we've seen that people are almost twice as likely to just need to reskill with AI as opposed to having their role removed or dramatically changed. It's changing the way work is done, but it is important that we remember that role that the human plays in. Amy, you mentioned earlier that article. I don't know if either of you have sat on a call with customer service and received an AI bot.
Yeah.
And customer service is never going to be the greatest experience, but having a human there that you can just say, look, this is what I need, help me out. It just feels a lot more. So even roles that are highly exposed, there's a consumer preference. There's a desire like, I know AI could handle this. I just don't want to talk to a robot right now. I want to have that connection. That is going to absolutely protect people. Maybe not in the long run. Maybe we get used to talking to robots, but for the foreseeable future, there are a lot of areas where that desire to have that human connection is going to protect roles.
I think people are. I feel like people are making it a game to see how quickly they can bypass the AI or the chat bot.
The worst
agent,
representative.
I don't want to talk to you. Give me a person.
That is the worst version of the worst version of myself is when I'm going representative.
Oh my God.
Representative.
I want to talk to this damn bot.
Okay, I know you want to speak to someone. Let me see if I can help. And I'm like, no,
you can't.
You can't. And I hope that, Kenny, as we see AI integrated into our lives, that it's like you said, trial and error of where AI shows up. And even if it can fill a role, maybe people don't want it to. And I hope, maybe it's just me being Pollyannish, that people will always want some kind of human connection and they're going to gravitate towards that. I hope.
Absolutely. We are such highly social creatures. That is absolutely what we are going to do. I think it's important for everyone to remember that in all things. Just because the technology can do it doesn't mean it should. There's this amazing line from Jeff Goldblum in Jurassic Park. Your scientists were so interested in whether or not they could, they never stopped to think if they should.
Mm-hmm.
So just because you could automate something, because you could put AI somewhere, it doesn't mean that it's a good idea. Our work is showing us that. It's showing that adoption is slower, that the gains are not as great. So big picture, AI is fantastic. You've all heard that before. But the subtitle is probably not as far along as people think it is.
So what you're saying is, what I've gathered from this entire interview is that artificial intelligence cannot replace Amy and me.
You two are totally safe.
Oh,
yeah,
I know.
Yes. Let's go.
I wouldn't join to listen to a robot.
All right, yeah. All
well,
right.
like we said, no robot would come up with this. Whatever I am, no robot's going to come up with it, right?
No,
it's too nerdy.
you're a glitch.
I am a glitch.
Yeah.
That's exactly right. Little ADHD, little uptight. I'm very uptight.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Kenny, could you tell from a distance, can you tell that Amy is uptight?
I'm occasionally uptight, but I know how to have fun. Kenny.
I just hear fun. I hear fun. And you know what? It's the quirks that make us human.
That's
and
right.
So if you can't love that, then I don't know what species you are.
Kenny, we appreciate your time. Thank you for talking with us today.
Thanks so much. Have a great day.
Kenny Pyle, HR Technology Lead Analyst at the Society for Human Resource Management, also known as SHRM. And when we come back, did you see this? No artificial intelligence would have ever come up with a segment called Did You See This? That's right. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old-timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside Ford 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going a swing.
Ready to elevate your game? Join the MBA Sportscasters Forum on Tuesday, September 15th in St. Louis. Learn from Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and Hall of Famer John Rooney as they break down play-by-play, reporting, interviewing, and covering the game. Then cap off the day with the Cardinals versus Giants at Busch Stadium. Step into the booth, sharpen your skills. Go to KMOX.com/events for details and registration.
What do parents think of back to school at Staples, where supplies start at just 25 cents? Staples has the latest laptops with up to 40% savings.
I may hug the cashier.
So embarrassing.
It's the most wonderful time of the year.
It's a wonderful time at Staples with up to 40% off select tech. Staples.
That was easy.
Visit Staples today or shop online and in the app. Ends 9/12. Exclusions apply.
When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Trisha Burns never answers the call. Trisha Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Trisha Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job.
Let's Go Brandon PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Chris Foss, Treasurer.
And Doug. Limu and I created a trick to help you remember that you can customize your car insurance and save with Liberty Mutual. You see, the shirts Limu and I wear are yellow, and yellow is the color of lemons, and lemons grow on trees, and trees provide oxygen, and oxygen helps us breathe, and breathing is how you live, and you can live more life when you save money by customizing your car insurance. I agree, Limu. It's really quite simple. Only pay for what you need at LibertyMutual.com.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Someone had a birthday.
Yep, 50. Can't believe it.
50 years of wisdom.
Great segue. We have a health reminder from the CDC.
Pneumococcal vaccination is recommended for adults 50 or older. Says here, we're over 6 times more likely to be hospitalized with pneumococcal pneumonia than adults under 50.
I don't love those odds.
Same. Look what I found. Pfizer's Prevnar 20 is proven to help protect adults against pneumococcal pneumonia and invasive pneumococcal disease in just 1 dose, and millions have already gotten it.
Continued approval may depend on a supportive study. Don't get Prevnar 20 if you have a severe allergy to its ingredients. A weakened immune system may lower your response. Common side effects include injection site pain and swelling, fatigue, headache, muscle, and joint pain. For full prescribing information, please call 1-855-213-2138. Visit Prevnar20.com or talk to your doctor or pharmacist.
I'm on Prevnar20.com now, scheduling my appointment.
Good idea. And happy 50th.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM, KMOX. Now, did you see this? With Chris and Amy.
Well, Ranj, they released their list, as they always do, of the weirdest items that TSA finds, maybe over the course of the year or over the course of a summer. Dude.
I thought you were talking about, for some reason, I thought you were going like stories from an ER. The stuff they find up, you know what? I was like, what are you talking about? All right.
Although any of these would be problematic if you stuffed them in an orifice of any kind. They have found, this is just this summer, live smoke grenades. Apparently, officers at the Indianapolis International Airport caught 2 live smoke grenades in a traveler's checked bags, one of which was submerged inside a jar of peanut butter, hoping they wouldn't find it.
Okay.
But they did find it. Another one was a traveler simply stashed an inert grenade in their carry-on bag in Detroit.
Did you say inert?
Yes.
Does that mean it couldn't explode?
I don't know. I guess so. When it comes to grenades, I guess so. Another guy in Ohio tried to bring a replica bomb and an anti-tank mine.
Well, you never know when you're going to need that.
In Alabama Gulf Shores International Airport, a TSA officer found someone who had 5 stolen cannonballs that he had wrapped in paper towels and put in his checked luggage.
People are pretty
They were
awesome.
stolen from Fort Morgan, a historic site about 25 miles from the airport. It had been attacked by the British in the War of 1812.
Dude, I kind of like people.
And then
People are fun.
a samurai sword. He tried to bring a samurai sword. You can't. It was 3 feet long.
Did you ever hear that? And this was before, I think it was before Louis C.K. did all the weird stuff, or that we found out about the weird stuff. But he had a joke about going on a plane through security first, and he was in this phase of his life where he was molding clay. He said just, it helped him, like, I don't know, it was like knitting or whatever. And it looked like a block of clay. And they pulled it out of his bag and said, "What is this?" Thinking it was C4 or something. And they're like, "You can't have that." And they threw it in the trash. And he goes, "Okay, look, either that's a bomb or it's not. Because you're just going to let me through. If it's not a bomb, give me back my clay."
Right.
And if it is a bomb, ask me way more questions. Because they were just going to let him through.
Right. It's such a great bit.
It's really fun. It
It's
is
such a
pretty
great point.
nonsensical. I understand it, but it is nonsensical.
I will say this last one here. Someone else tried to bring a whole bunch of fireworks. You can't do that. You can't do that.
Hey, did you see that Kash Patel, the FBI director, had a $10 million lawsuit that he filed against the blogger? His name is Jim Stewartson. And he filed this lawsuit because the blogger called him, quote, a googly-eyed Kremlin B-word. How do you sue somebody for that? What's the charge?
Eating a meal?
I mean,
a succulent Chinese meal?
So
This is democracy.
The
He called him a googly-eyed Kremlin, like Russia.
B-word.
B-word.
Gentlemen, this is Democracy Manifest.
So in June of 2023, Patel filed this complaint that he was being smeared by Stewartson, who called him a blatantly incompetent chud.
What do you think which part is the smear? The googly eye or the Kremlin B word?
I don't know all of it. I guess you can't. I mean, can you sue somebody for insulting you?
If so, boy, oh boy, I'm going to get rich pretty soon.
What a thin-skinned B word.
I got to start using googly eyed in more insults.
So ridiculous.
A succulent Chinese meal.
Unbelievable.
Oh.
All right. Hey, guess what's coming up? Cardinals baseball. Did you know it?
Yeah.
12:20 for the pregame show today. Finale of the 4-game series against the Cubs is at 1:15. That's the first pitch. And we will have it here all on KMOX and the Odyssey app. And just a reminder that this will be your last opportunity to see the Cubs at Busch Stadium. So you want to get in on this rivalry? The Cardinals-Cubs heated rivalry? I mean, they're not making out, but as far as we know. But they are playing a baseball game today. Two teams at Busch for the last time this season. So 12:20 for the pregame show. Matt Pauley will join the show when we come back on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
You know, here in St. Louis, word of mouth still matters, and I'm pretty careful about who I recommend, especially when it comes to something as personal as estate planning. I'm Tom Ackerman. My family has been working with the Lederman Law Firm for over 20 years now, and the reason is simple. They don't just create documents and send you on your way. They help make sure your plan works. Because let's be honest, life changes. Family needs and circumstances change. Laws change. But most estate plans don't change over time as needs, circumstances, and laws change. They're outdated, sitting in a drawer. People assume they're fine, and their plan will work when they need it to work. At the Lederman Law Firm, it's not a one-time transaction. It's an ongoing process. They build a plan to protect your family and your assets, and then for a fixed annual fee, they help keep it up to date as both your life and assets change. Check out the Lederman Law Firm at LedermanLaw.com or give them a call at 314-514-9100. The choice of a lawyer is an important decision and should not be based solely on advertisements.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Registered lobbyist Mike Deering is not the kind of guy you want in the state Senate.
Did you say he was a registered lobbyist?
Sure did. When conservatives like Tricia Burns tried to pass a bill to take back the 300,000 acres in Missouri allowed to be controlled by China, lobbyist Mike Deering testified against it. When conservatives like Tricia Burns fought alongside Missouri cattlemen to require foreign beef to be labeled, lobbyist Mike Deering testified against that too. While conservatives like Tricia Burns are fighting to protect your farmland from being paved over by data centers, lobbyist Mike Deering described Google's Montgomery County hyperscale data center as a
very positive thing.
Deering also endorsed liberal Democrat Chris Koster for governor and openly mocked President Trump. Registered lobbyist Mike Deering, anti-Trump, pro-Democrat, bought out by foreign ag interest, and in love with data centers. Take down data center Deering on August 4th. Vote America First conservative warrior Tricia Burns for state senate.
Paid for by Mo Constitutional Conservative Council PAC, Scott Lady Treasurer.
News, talk, cards. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. Always live on the free Odyssey app.
It is sunny and 79 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. Oil and gas prices climbing again as the war in Iran appears to widen. The stock market plunging. Here's ABC's Elizabeth Schulze.
New estimate this morning from Moody's Analytics shows that the typical American household has now spent an extra $672 in gas, diesel, home heating, and jet fuel expenses combined since the start of the Iran war. Gas Buddy is also predicting that drivers will see the highest prices for the month of August on record.
The Dow currently is up 152 points. We have a correction to a story that we ran this morning. The St. Louis Board of Adjustment rejected an appeal that was looking to do away with a conditional use permit to build a massive data center approved for the warehouse behind the Armory. This morning, we reported that the appeal was approved, and that was incorrect. As KMOX reported last week, a federal mediator has been called in to resolve a contract dispute between Roxana, Illinois teachers and the district. Today, teachers are holding an informational picket in front of the district's administration building as parents are registering their kids for school.
We've been at the table since January. We started, we went over ground rules in January, and then really starting in March is when we really started coming to the table on a regular basis.
When does your contract expire with the district?
Our contract has already expired.
That's Roxana Education Association President Kim Jones speaking with Megan Lynch. Jones says key sticking points include a pay scale for more experienced teachers, a proposal to eliminate the current policy that allows teachers in the district to apply for vacancies before they're open to the public. KMOX News has reached out to the district this morning for a response. Rising public outcry has some communities pulling the plug on automated license plate readers. Still, ABC's Jim Ryan says more than 100,000 of the AI-powered cameras are tracking vehicles in all 50 states.
Law enforcers who use the technology agree with Mark Nelson of the Oklahoma City Fraternal Order of Police.
This changes the game on how we're able to accomplish public safety.
But not universally in Los Angeles.
Until we can get those data, privacy, security, and sharing concerns ironed out.
The LAPD's Dean Gialama says the license reading cameras are being shut off.
Prairie Farms, based in Edwardsville, has closed 2 cheese-making plants in Wisconsin and laying off nearly 100 workers. Rufus, the kangaroo, is still on the run after escaping from his home in Stoddard County July 24th. His owners say the affectionate 4.5-year-old kangaroo most likely was spooked by loud noises coming from an excavator in their yard when he hopped off into the sunset. He's been sighted several times in the county since his escape, but he is still on the lam.
Hazy sunshine mixing with clouds this afternoon, high 87. Partly cloudy tonight, though 71. Tomorrow will turn out cloudy with a couple of showers and thunderstorms, particularly in the afternoon and into tomorrow night. Those thunderstorms can be severe with hail and damaging wind gusts along with flooding downpours, the high 83. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
The weather is sponsored by Scott Credit Union. We have sun and 79 degrees downtown. I'm Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
Teachers, healthcare workers, first responders, and military, this one's for you. Scott Credit Union's Community Heroes program offers special financing on homes, autos, and more. It's our way of saying thanks. Visit scu.org today. Equal housing lender, NMLS number 415767. Terms and conditions apply.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Marks Kors. The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Herrera swings, and he drives that one. It goes to the gap in left center field. The ball gets down. It goes to the wall. We're tied. Walker around third. The throw to the plate. It's a Redbird winner! Light up the night in downtown St. Louis.
Go, Paulie! Paulie's a great name. Go, Paulie! What'd you do for Paulie? Anything?
Me, Paulie, I was responsible.
Paulie, we're here because of you.
Great walk-off win for the Cardinals last night. They come back after falling behind in the 10th inning. A Pete Crow Armstrong home run put the Cubs on top. And I have to admit, I thought, well, I guess that's that. But the Cardinals came back with 3 of their own in the bottom half of the inning. That was capped off by Ivan Herrera with that run, 2-run scoring double, and there they go. They get a win. Now an opportunity this afternoon to split the series against the Cubs at Busch Stadium. Matt Pauley joins us on the Quiver River Electric guest line. I know they've had a couple of walk-off wins here in the last month, but that one was about as fun as we have seen in a long time against a division rival. And when they have been struggling to score runs as it is, I did not think they were going to do that last night, and they surprised us.
I believe that was their first walk-off since like May 19th.
Is it?
Really?
Yeah. When Ivan Herrera hit the 3-run home run in Pittsburgh, I believe that was their last. Well, not in Pittsburgh because you can't have a walk-off. But I'm not sure. I think it's been a while though. I think their last walk-off was a while back.
They had. No. Oh, you know what? Yes, you're right. It was back in May.
Okay.
They lost 2 walk-off games in a row, and that was Arizona and then in Anaheim, I want to say.
Yeah.
So, yeah, but going back to the end of May, I think.
Okay.
Something like that.
All right.
Yeah, but anyway.
First.
Anyway, yeah, there you go. But
it's
that
been
was
a while.
lot of
That's
fun.
the point. I mean, yeah, it's been a while, and it was a lot of fun last night.
We could kill another 10 minutes doing this.
Yes.
So, I mean, I didn't expect it, man, but just because of the way they have been hitting or not hitting, and they haven't put rallies together, they've just been incapable of doing what they did last night. So, I guess you just have to hope that carries over a little bit.
Yeah, I think you take it for what it is. It was a really awesome moment, and it was a moment that the team really, really, really needed. You did not want to lose the first 3 games of a 4-game series against the Cubs for sure. And, I mean, just the way that thing went down, the Crow Armstrong home run in the 10th inning after 9 innings of neither team scoring a single run, it did feel, and they were on the losing streak, everything that was going along with it, it felt like they did not have much of a shot in the bottom of the 10th inning. And that was an awesome turn of events. Ivan Herrera, who's really been scuffling lately, he had a 3-hit night last night with 2 doubles. That's what he needs to be doing for the Cardinals to win. I think Ali said it in the postgame. When Herrera's good, the Cardinals are winning, and he was good yesterday, and the Cardinals win.
You know, this is probably an observation or comment that's totally what fans and media talk about, and the players are beyond it. However, to the point that there's such a thing as momentum or maybe just getting you out of a bad mental rut, I feel like winning a game the way the Cardinals won last night against the Cubs, right, a division rival, walk-off at Busch Stadium, if anything's going to break a slump, I feel like that type of exciting team spirit win, maybe that means more than just winning 3-1. We're kind of in the lead for most of the game. I get it. A win is still a win. But having it in that way, in that fashion against the Cubs, hopefully maybe kicks them out of the slump that they've been in.
Yeah, hopefully that'd be nice. You know, one of the baseball cliches is momentum as the next day's starting pitcher. So if you can't hit the next day, the guy the next day, then that doesn't do a whole lot for you. I think you enjoy it in the moment because it was awesome, and you see where things go moving forward. But to your point, Amy, they were only under 500 for one day. They get back to 500, and now there's some added importance for today's game, because if you win today, then you split a 4-game series, and most 4-game series, whether you play them at home or on the road, most 4-game series are splits. That's not bad to split against the Cubs, and it would get you back over 500 if you win today. So if you've got a second wind in you, now would be a good time for that to start happening.
So we were talking also about Pete Crow Armstrong, who is turning into a really good player, and the guy might very well. He's in MVP discussions already, and I know we've got a couple of months left to go in the season. But to have a player that Cardinals fans can direct their dislike for and have that guy be a Cubs player, this is a good thing. This is a good thing for this rivalry.
It absolutely is. And I 100% understand why Cardinals fans dislike Pete Crow Armstrong. He loves it. Yeah, he loves giving it to the tarps off section and getting it back from the tarps off section. Somebody had said that when he got in town, one of the first questions he asked was, "Is that still going on?" He really kind of thrives off the energy that exists in kind of going back and forth. So he's a really good player who finds himself in the middle of a bunch of stuff, and just the way he plays the game, he is really easy to dislike. And it's easier to dislike dudes who are good. Pete Crow Armstrong is good. So I love it. He's fun to watch play. He, like I said a moment ago, he finds himself in the middle of stuff all the time. Like even the other day when he got caught in the rundown. Something weird is always happening with Crow Armstrong. Much of it is just because of how he goes about things. And then you add in the fact that he's a Cub and he's a really, really good player. Yeah, I think it's great for the rivalry. I think Pete Crow Armstrong is good for baseball because, newsflash, Cardinals fans are not the only fans that dislike PCA.
Right, but it just so happens that this is our biggest rival, and you need to have somebody like that, because most baseball players, and while I think the emotional part of the game has become more prevalent in the last several years, where players are not as worried about showing emotion on the field, either negative or positive, or being flamboyant or whatever, because baseball, it used to be a put your head down and play kind of sport, and that has changed a lot. But you still don't see a lot of guys do what he does and acknowledging the crowd and kind of giving it back to the crowd. That is a newer thing in baseball, or it's a rarer thing in baseball, I would say.
I would agree with that. I mean, a lot of times when you've seen things like that in the past, it's been a lot more kind of downplayed and quiet, and there's nothing downplayed and quiet about Crow Armstrong. So yeah, I would agree with that, and I think it's good.
Sports need villains.
Yeah.
They do.
It's
more fun. Yeah, we talk about it like from the hockey side of things. It was fun playing Boston and hating on Brad Marchand or Nazem Kadri. Like, you have your villains, and I think it really goes into the emotional investment of fans. It's always better. Like Ranj said with White Sox, when the White Sox were struggling, White Sox fans, the worst thing that can happen is people become apathetic. But if you get people just emotionally involved, it's good.
Yeah, and I'll tell you this, and I know some people left after the Armstrong home run in the 10th inning, but I was down on the field yesterday to do the post-game interview. When Ivan Herrera hit that double, that place was loud. I was actually surprised by just how loud it got in there in that moment. It was really cool.
Hey, Matt, can I ask you with the post-game interviews? I mean, I guess we've all done them, but your approach to it, do you know what you're going to ask walking up on the field? Do you have an idea? Does it depend on Herrera's answers? Because I heard the post-game interview was great, as always. But yeah, how set in stone are your questions?
Yeah, I think last night I don't know who I'm going to interview when I walk out there, but before the walk off because I don't know what's going to happen. So I think it's two different things. If the Cardinals are up by 10 runs and I know exactly who I'm going to talk to, yeah, I have a pretty good idea of the questions I'm going to ask. On a night like last night, actually what I'm doing is every single hitter that's at the plate, I'm hypothetically going through my head, okay, if they are the ones who get the walk-off, what am I going to ask them? And so that's what I'm doing. Like I had questions ready to go for Jordan Walker if Walker would have hit a grand slam last night and walked it off. And then the moment that doesn't happen and somebody else comes up to the plate, I start going through what I'm going to ask them. So it's a cognitive thing as I'm getting ready for it.
All right, so Matt, we are, as we've talked about, just a handful of days away from the trade deadline. What they do here, the way they play on the field from now until then, I mean, they got the win yesterday, huge win, a lot of fun. We'll play again today. These games, do you think they matter much in terms of what ends up happening with trades?
Not much. If they don't lose a single game between now and the 3rd, could something change slightly? I'll leave open that possibility, but I really don't think so. I think that it is set that this team is going to sell some pieces off. It's not a coincidence that last night when Dustin May comes in after 5 innings that he was getting hugs in the dugout. Everybody understands what is going on. And now, at the same time, the Cardinals have to get an offer from May that they think is good enough. The offer has to be better than what you would get with draft pick compensation if you give them the qualifying offer, because that you're guaranteed at least that. If you don't get something good for May, he can stick around. You can give him the qualifying offer, and then if he goes signs with another team, you can get the draft pick. So it's not like you're forced to sell Dustin May just for anything because there is another path, but I would be pretty surprised if a team does not offer something that is significantly better than the qualifying offer for May, and I'm pretty confident saying that last night was the final time we're going to see him in a Cardinal uniform, probably likely ever, and for sure this year. So I don't think things change much at all.
And Jeff Passan went through each team, Jeff Passan of ESPN, talking about guys that are most likely to be traded. May was the best asset that he called it that might end up going elsewhere. We've heard about Ryan Stanek potentially being traded. Jojo Romero is on the IL, but still will have some, there will be some, I think, interest from other teams. We've now lately heard about Ivan Herrera, who Passan also mentioned as a possibility. I know it's difficult to predict for sure, but if you had to, would you lean toward them making more than one trade before we get to Monday?
Yeah, I think so. I think May and Stanek are very, very, very likely gone. I hope they don't trade Ivan Herrera. I understand why they would listen on him. He's a right-handed power bat, and that doesn't exist right now in baseball, and you would get a ton with a number of years of control connected to him. So he is incredibly valuable. So if you feel like you move the organization ahead quicker by what you get back for Ivan Herrera, you have to listen in on it. But I hope, from a personal standpoint, I hope they don't trade Herrera. I hope that he is part of the core of this team moving forward. But if they find a way to move on from Jojo Romero or Riley O'Brien or Lars Nootbaar, I'm okay with that. Most of those guys you're going to be able to have a replacement for pretty soon. I think I would be in favor of whatever they can do to get this team in World Series contention faster. Go do it. And they're not in World Series contention right now, so it's about getting better players for the future.
All right, so today, are you on pregame?
No, Tom is.
Tom is on pregame. You'll have postgame, though. And
yes,
we will be listening to it. 12:20 is the pregame show. It is an afternoon game, 1:15 for the first pitch. Cardinals and Cubs at Busch Stadium. Last Cubs game here at Busch for the season. So if you want to catch the rivalry, today is your final opportunity. Matt Pauley, we appreciate you. Thanks for being with us.
You bet. Thank you.
Yo, Paulie, your sister's with me. I'll call you back later. See ya.
That's right. You better be listening to baseball today. And if you're not doing that, you better be at the game because it'll be nicer out there. You know,
It's going to be gorgeous.
We're not doing this sweltering heat index of 8 million like we've been having.
Last chance to see the Cubs at Busch this season.
Get out to a ball game or just listen to. You do both. You can listen to the game and be at the ballpark. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX. Major Garrett will join us just after 10:30 on 104.1 FM.
Breaking news. Missouri will vote on Amendment 4 this August. Right now, a ballot measure passes in Missouri if it gets a majority of votes statewide. Amendment 4 would permanently end that. If Amendment 4 passes, it would rewrite the Missouri Constitution. So instead of using the total statewide vote to decide if something is approved, a measure would need to win a majority of votes separately in each of Missouri's 8 congressional districts in order to pass. So one district could veto the will of most Missourians. That means with Amendment 4, just 5% of voters could overrule what the majority of Missouri citizens want. Opponents of Amendment 4 say it undermines the sacred principle of one person, one vote, and takes away the people's power, giving it to politicians and special interests instead. Protect majority rule. Vote no on Amendment 4. Paid for by Protect Majority Rule Missouri. Mike Pridmore, Treasurer.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back for buying gas. That's right. You can earn cash back with Upside just for buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside, and just last year, I made nearly $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get cash back? If you like extra cash, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back when you fill your tank. Use promo code FRESH to get an extra 35 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime, right to your bank or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code FRESH for a 35 cents per gallon bonus.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC. Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
If you or someone you know suffered any injuries involving a deployed airbag, you could be entitled to compensation. Morgan & Morgan has already recovered millions. Get America's largest injury law firm fighting for you.
Visit forthepeople.com for an office near you.
100 years of service and still at your service. KMOX.
All right, we were asking you earlier this morning, did anyone else hear a super loud boom last night? 2:37 a.m. is when my brother's Ring camera captured a boom, and there was a bit of a flash, but where he was, he couldn't see a huge flash, but there was a flash. This is what he heard. It's like a whoosh and then something breaking the sound barrier. One of my friends said she was in the bathroom and it almost knocked her off the toilet. It was that loud.
I had that same thing happen.
Lisa is watching on Facebook, and she said, I did hear the boom. I am glad it wasn't a figment of my imagination. A 314 texts in, said, I did hear a boom last night. It sounded almost like a trash truck, but it was at a crazy late hour. And then my brother said he had kind of put it out there. I don't know if it was on a neighborhood chat or a other type of social media, and other people were sending in pictures of their Ring cameras, and they did have the really big flash. So I think it was one of those meteors that broke the sound barrier. That's just wild.
So it was not a missile being fired from Kansas?
No. Have we talked to the governor of Kansas? No.
We have not, but I don't know that he would give us the time that we need.
Well, not if he's at war with us right now. No, probably not.
Don't you think somebody should have told us we were at war with Kansas?
First of all, if someone's just now turning on KMOX, the trusted voice of St. Louis, is that what we call ourselves?
I mean, you and I don't.
Well, we don't. I just want to let you know, when we talk about the trusted voice of St. Louis, it's probably the newsroom. It's not us.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, totally.
We're not.
It's not. Come on, man.
I disagree with myself half the time. At any rate,
well, that makes two
I think
of us.
it was a meteor. I think it was a meteor. Or like Ron said, we're at war with Kansas. It's either Kansas attacking us or a meteor. Meteor.
Whatever happens.
Am I saying it right?
Do you think we could beat Kansas? We have bigger cities. We have two big cities.
Yeah, we've got
Springfield and
Columbia. Yeah, we'll win. Hey, speaking of states and wars with states, but I went on a run this morning with a big old group, and a few of the guys were from Kentucky, and some of them have moved here, some were here just visiting. And I said, okay, guys, not that you speak for the entire state of Kentucky, which they said, no, we don't speak for the whole state. They're also from Louisville. Mm-hmm. And they said that there's Louisville and then there's Kentucky, which is kind of like Missouri, right? There's St. Louis and Kansas City, and then there's the rest of Missouri, where you're going to see probably the blue city, red state type thing.
Yeah.
And I said, are you guys, how big of a deal is Mitch McConnell right now? And they said, it's a pretty big deal. Nobody knows where he is. And one of the guys, these are like late 20s, early 30s. And he said, yeah, we talk about Mitch McConnell quite a bit. And I said, would you normally talk about Mitch McConnell? And he said, absolutely not. It's just weird. People in Kentucky want to know where he is. I said, well, yeah, your governor, Andy Beshear, has asked for proof of life. And one of the guys said, yeah, and I think we deserve it.
Well, I think the country kind of deserves it, too. And I know that he's not the president, so it's not as important. But Mitch McConnell has been a very influential person in the Senate for a long time. But if we're going to hold Joe Biden to a standard of this guy's his office rocker, he doesn't belong there, then we should at least know where Mitch McConnell is and stop giving us photos that look exactly the same as the last photo. We need to hear from him.
And
he should speak
easy.
words.
It's so easy to make a little video, you know. It would be our top story if we couldn't find Josh Hawley, right?
Well, that would be even, yes. He's young and he's fit, so that would be even more of a story.
It would be more of a story, yeah. Kind of like Kim Gardner when we couldn't find Kim Gardner. Now, granted, I think they can find Mitch McConnell, allegedly.
Well,
he's at a hospital, yeah.
But we just need to know that he's not completely incapacitated. He's still an important member of the Senate.
We have a 314 calling him Bernie McConnell, like Weekend at Bernie's.
That's not very nice.
Not very
Do you think
nice.
they're doing that? You think they're making him a puppet? I don't think so.
I hope not. Well, also, we have a texter on the war with Kansas. 636 says, I don't think we should be messing with Kansas. They have a lot of cornfield Jesuses in that state. And they do. They do. Have you ever driven to Colorado?
No.
Okay. Well, I've driven to Colorado a lot. Oh, things are going pretty well for you, aren't they?
Well, most people fly.
This guy.
What did your last trip to Colorado that you drove end up costing you?
Yeah, a lot.
I want to hear it.
There are big, giant posters of Jesus in the cornfields.
Really?
Yes.
Why?
I think it's kind of like in the same way where it's like Jesus loves you.
So they're just in the cornfields?
Well, like along the side.
Okay.
Most of Kansas is cornfields.
Yeah.
So, people, they're not billboards, but they are giant signs that have. Actually, I can tell you what the Jesus looks like.
I'm going to throw it on the stream for all of us to see.
Okay.
I think
watch us on Facebook.
I think
that's Matt Pauley. Matt Pauley is not a cornfield Jesus.
That's not the billboard, Matt.
That isn't it?
I type in cornfield Jesus, and it's this
No,
picture
that's not
10,000
it.
times.
No, that's not it.
If you're on Facebook, YouTube,
It's
or
not.
Twitter,
That is not it. So
we're at Chris Amy KMOX on Twitter, and you can see the photo.
What is it?
So I can tell you exactly what Jesus looks like. He, as far as in the cornfields, it's. I believe it's Catholic churches have a card that says, "Jesus, I trust in you." I think, and it's like a picture of. I think it's like a Catholic depiction of Jesus, and I think it's that is what I see is that picture of Jesus, and it says like, "I trust in you."
Okay. And so they have that's like a common thing,
something like this.
Not really. It's more professional than that. It's not uncommon.
If you type in Kansas cornfield Jesus, you see that first picture as the only result.
Kansas cornfield Jesus.
It's like him in the corn.
That's not what it looks like.
Oh.
Hold on.
What are they doing in Kansas? Hey, we don't have time for this. We got to get to Major Garrett.
This is way more important.
We got to get to Major. He joins us every Thursday just after 10:30, and Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, is next.
We don't just cover St. Louis, we share it. That's why the stories you hear every morning aren't just headlines. They're about your neighborhood,
Ferguson's police chief took the stand in day one of
your roads,
Westbound 270 North County just had some volume on
your Cardinals,
Riley O'Brien strikes out the side in the ninth inning.
your community.
I'm Tom Ackerman.
This is Debbie Monterey. I'm Megan Lynch.
Total Information AM, weekdays on KMOX.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this ad for your morning commute to wake you up, which could help your driving. Science says that stimulating the brain increases alertness. So here's a pop quiz. How many months have 28 days? What gets wetter as it dries? What has keys but can't open locks? If you don't want to hear the answers, turn off this Liberty Mutual ad now. 12 months, a towel, piano. Enjoy being fully alert.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Arabic teacher, St. Louis University High School, St. Louis, Missouri. Plans and develops a course of study for secondary/high school, adhering to the school mission, philosophy, Jesuit, and curriculum guidelines. Requires fluency in Arabic. Travel, up to 10% of time, to the Middle East or Egypt regarding class trips and cultivating relationships abroad for same. Apply by emailing Human Resources, bvoegtli@sluh.org. Again, Arabic teacher, St. Louis University High School, St. Louis, Missouri. Apply by emailing Human Resources, bvoegtli@sluh.org.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
82 degrees, comfortable, gorgeous, a high of 87 today. Get to the ballpark. Your last time to see the Cubs at Busch Stadium this year. Tonight, a low of 70. Weather sponsored by Huff Heating and AC.
For dependable, no-pressure home comfort solutions, turn to Huff Heating and Air Conditioning. Locally owned and family-operated for over 40 years. Our team will work with you on a plan that fits your home's needs with financing available. And as always, your family's comfort is our family's business. Learn more at huffheating.com.
The radical left let crime and drugs pour into our nation, and they let biological men into girls' sports. But here in Missouri, if there's a problem, we fix it. That's why Ann Wagner's fixing the mess the radical left made and delivering for us. Wagner voted to ban biological men from competing in girls' sports, and she voted to fund the police and provide more resources for Border Patrol agents, keeping our families, communities, and children safe. And Ann Wagner didn't stop there. In Congress, Wagner passed the largest working-class tax cut in American history, kept big government out of our business, protected our way of life, and ensured our communities remain safe. That's why Ann Wagner's endorsed by the Missouri Farm Bureau and Missouri Fraternal Order of Police. Vote Ann Wagner for Congress on August 4th.
I'm Ann Wagner, and I approve this message.
Paid for by Ann Wagner for Congress.
Nothing makes a gathering great like Eggland's Best Eggs. They're just so delicious with better nutrition, too. For us, it's eggs any style, as long as they're the best. Eggland's Best. Better taste, better nutrition, better eggs.
I'm Bill Eigel. I'm a no on data centers. Last year, when a new hyperscale data center was up for a vote in St. Charles City, I'm the only candidate for county executive who stood with you in opposition. Meanwhile, Steve Ellman was writing op-eds in support of data centers. In fact, he spent $400,000 of your taxpayer money to identify 6 locations just for data centers in St. Charles County. I'm Bill Eigel, and if you don't want data centers in our county, then I'm asking for your vote on August 4th.
Paid for by Eigel for Missouri. Lisa Borchers, Treasurer.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
David was in big trouble with the IRS.
At first, I didn't owe that much, but after this year, it was out of control.
Then David called Get a Tax Lawyer.
Right away, they were like, oh yeah, looks like you're qualified to say
Get a Tax Lawyer went to work.
Should have called way sooner.
Get a Tax Lawyer has helped thousands like David fight the IRS and get a fresh start.
Call 800-745-3070. That's 800-745-3070.
The Chris and Amy Show on 104.1 FM KMOX and the free Odyssey app. It's Major News with Major Garrett, our weekly conversation with CBS's chief Washington correspondent.
Every Thursday, we talk to Major Garrett, chief Washington correspondent for CBS News. His show is called The Takeout on CBS News 24/7. You can watch or listen to that show. Also, get his book, The Big Truth, Upholding Democracy in the Age of the Big Lie. And Major is with us on KMOX. Good morning, Major.
Good morning. How is everyone?
We're doing great.
I think we're doing great. Are we doing better than Mitch McConnell? Do we know where he's at or what?
Wow.
I know.
Wow. Well, yes.
Major's
we
a
are
professional.
doing better. We are doing better than Senator McConnell because, as I gather it, we are able to talk. We converse with our friends and family. We can do FaceTime videos. We're ambulatory. All of those things we do not know if Senator McConnell is.
Yeah.
I mean, they keep representing that he's recovering from a fall, pneumonia, okay, lost consciousness. But you could do something very simple to demonstrate how you actually are doing. You could do a FaceTime video. You could do it with a Senate colleague. You could do it with a journalist. You could do it with someone in the Republican Party in Kentucky. You could do it with the governor of Kentucky, the Commonwealth of Kentucky, Andy Beshear. He's very interested in how you're doing, Senator McConnell, but none of that happens. Just a quick reminder, when the Office of the Physician of the United States Capitol says he's going through rehab and recovering so he can get back to the Senate as he was going through the Senate before this fall and other health complications in a wheelchair.
Mm.
He wasn't walking. He was in a wheelchair before all this happened. Yes, he would stand at his desk. He would sit in a chair at a hearing, but everything else was done in a wheelchair. So if you're well enough to sit, meaning you can sit in a wheelchair, as Senator McConnell was before he fell and had all these other complications, you should be well enough to return to the Senate because that's what you were doing before. That he's not even doing that, I think, raises significant questions about where things are. Is he likely to return to the Senate? I asked Rand Paul, his Kentucky Republican colleague in the Senate, on my show last night. Trust me, we talked a lot about Anthony Fauci, which we can get to. But I said, you had this whole hearing today about transparency and the public's right to know and get to the hard facts and the hard truths because everyone can take it. What about McConnell? Well, we should lay off him. Really? we should lay off him. So that was his response. I don't think. I mean, in all fairness, Senator Rand Paul said not enough has been disclosed, and there's been a sort of tiptoeing around things that ought not to be tiptoed around. But I'm going to give him some deference. Well, okay, that's one senator's opinion. I'm not sure people in the Commonwealth of Kentucky are riding along with that. Certainly the governor isn't, and this is a real issue.
Major, when you look at members of Congress who are getting up there in age, to say the least, Senator Mitch McConnell, even Bernie Sanders, Dick Durbin, you have Maxine Waters, Nancy Pelosi, Jim Clyburn, and then obviously before that, Dianne Feinstein, who passed away but was, ailing in Congress as well, being wheeled into her office. I don't know if she knew where she was. Is this
Thad Cochran, Republican of Mississippi, was very much similarly indisposed or limited in his awareness and physical mental acuity in the latter years of his Senate time. So, yeah, I've seen it a lot. I've seen it for as long as I've been in the Capitol, which dates back to 1990.
That was going to be my question. Are we at a particularly old time with the Congress, with Biden, with Trump, or has it always been like this?
So we are at a kind of actuarial age of extremes. Much of the Congress is very young. Senior leaders in Congress are very old, and there's not much in the middle. So there are young and inexperienced members of Congress. The level of experience in Congress is at a sort of historic low, meaning you have lots of brand new members in the House and Senate. But then you have this, and I'm trying not to be funny here, but you have this sort of crust, this crusty crust of old members. And because Congress, House and Senate, is built on the scaffolding of seniority, meaning the longer you're there, the more power you accrue, you have this older cohort that has accrued a lot of power. And once power is accrued, it is extremely difficult to give up or hand off, or to say, I'm no longer capable of exercising this power that, in some cases, I waited 20 years, if not longer, to accrue. That's either a committee chairmanship or something in leadership, something you worked your entire Washington career to achieve. Even though you may not be nearly as adept at doing those things as you were 2 or 3 years ago, or maybe even 5 years ago. And I don't know what the problem is. It's a bipartisan problem. I think one of the issues is people around aging members of Congress simply don't tell them the truth. They just don't. They lie to them because their jobs are dependent on that, and there's a sort of political momentum about it, and everyone falls back on the same rationale. Well, the voters voted them in, and the voters knew they were old, so leave it to the voters. Yes, that's true, and I understand that. But if you're, since that election, less capable than you were when you stood for election, maybe that ought to be raised as an issue. And it just isn't, because those around people in power have derivative power themselves. And just as the one at the center of power doesn't want to give it up, those in the outer or inner circles of power, even though it's derivative, don't want to give it up either.
Major, you mentioned the Anthony Fauci hearing yesterday, and that was Rand Paul's thing. He wanted to do that, and what I'm wondering is, and it was a whole ordeal. I'm wondering if it was more political theater. Was it of substance? Was there a mixture of it? How did you see it?
So there was obviously an aspect of it that was theatrical. And look, as I pointed out at the top of my show last night, I've seen witnesses appear before Congress and plead the Fifth Amendment right of the Constitution, core constitutional right. You don't have to testify against yourself. You don't have to incriminate yourself. And Anthony Fauci did that. And when witnesses do that, they do that universally. They don't do it on a piecemeal basis because they've been advised by their attorneys, if you answer any question, you are opening a door. If this invocation of the Fifth Amendment is scrutinized by the courts, and you don't want to open up any door. So just invoke it no matter what the question is. So you get to these absurd moments where Missouri Senator Josh Hawley, very aggressive, very angry with Dr. Fauci, says, what day is it? And Fauci says, I invoke the Fifth. He says, what color is your tie? I invoke the Fifth. What's the color of the carpet in front of you? So these are answerable questions. Obviously, that's the whole point. But lawyers always say, don't even answer the answerable questions. Just invoke the Fifth as a blanket refusal to accept the validity of the questions, any question posed by that committee. And the reason Dr. Fauci said that is he said, the chairman of this committee is hell-bent to put me in jail. So all this hearing is about is not telling people what I know or what I knew or what my diaries say or don't say or what the underlying documents say or don't say. It's not about that at all. It's about getting me to trip up some way that they could tell the Trump Justice Department he lied before Congress, prosecute him.
Mm-hmm.
Well, as the chairman, Rand Paul, made clear on my show and in the context of the hearing, they're going to do that anyway. Because Chairman Paul said on my show, I think he was in contempt of Congress. He's obstructing a congressional investigation. That's a crime, and we intend to vote on that and send it to the Trump Justice Department. And if you think the Trump Justice Department is going to be like, oh, I don't know, should we do anything criminally with Anthony Fauci? They're going to. That's where this is heading. I don't think there's any other way of looking at it.
Because they have to get him on perjury since he was preemptively pardoned by President Joe Biden.
He was preemptively pardoned by President Biden on the last day of the Biden presidency from anything happening from the year 2014 until the last day of the Biden presidency. Okay. So everything there is covered by the pardon at a federal level. Nothing can be prosecuted. Rand Paul also mentioned this on my show. He said if Anthony Fauci said, yes, we destroyed some documents, which they believe they can substantiate. He said, no one can prosecute him for that. He's covered by the pardon. But if you, in time now, after the pardon expires, because the pardon is only good through the last day of the Biden presidency, if you are obstructing Congress or if you perjure yourself in congressional testimony, you're still open to it, which is why Fauci's attorney said, don't answer any questions, invoke the Fifth, and see if they can get you on an obstructing of Congress charge. I think the reason they want to fight that out in court is they would say, wait a minute, what did we obstruct? We've testified before Congress 20 times, or whatever the number is. You can't prosecute us. You can't get a jury to convict us for obstructing Congress because we've already testified a bunch of times. We're just not going to be a part of a kangaroo court. They would rather fight that out in the court, not only of public opinion, but a real trial court, than they would something about perjury.
Meanwhile, happening now, we've got this war in Iran that continues, and it has had all sorts of effects on the country.
Not just continues, but expands.
Yeah, so where are we right now?
Well, places that did not have things flown aggressively and harmfully into their terrain now do. Egypt, Yemen, Jordan, Iraq, all have been hit this week by Iranian projectiles, drones or missiles. Egypt for the first time, Jordan several times, 3 U.S. military personnel, possibly a fourth, they haven't confirmed that yet, died in an attack about a week and a half ago. The United States and Saudi Arabia for the first time officially saying it's involved in any way militarily in this conflict, attacked Iranian-backed militias inside Iraq. That doesn't even mention all the things that have happened at the UAE, Oman, Kuwait from Iran. So almost all of the region is involved in this now in the military terminology kinetically. And my experience in these sorts of things is these are individual genie bottles. They are very hard to close once they are open. Now, yes, people can say no. Egypt can say we're not going to do anything. But they are now thinking in ways that they weren't a week ago about getting involved in this militarily. The Saudis and the Houthis in Yemen have been fighting for many, many years. Expansion of that conflict is destabilizing. Iraq and Iran, they had a long war in the 80s. They're not necessarily going to relaunch that, but there are now hostile forces thinking in Iraq about dealing with Iran and do it new and different ways. All I'm saying is this creates the possibility not only of an expanded battle space, but people getting involved for the long term in ways that they weren't contemplating a week or two ago, all of which makes this much more difficult for President Trump to manage, quote unquote. And that would, of course, assume that you believe he's been managing it for any period of time, which I think that's up for debate.
Major, we're glad to have you back this week. We missed you last week. And I just want to say, when it comes to reviews of the Odyssey, I'm on Team Major.
Oh, you did you see it?
No.
She didn't see it. She gets no opinion.
I didn't see it.
We had a lively text conversation about this, and you said your limit in terms of loudness and violence is basically Murder, She Wrote, Angela Lansbury.
Yes.
I said, well, if that's your limit, don't go see the Odyssey. I didn't know if you'd sort of, muscled up and
oh no,
couraged
muscle up.
No, there's no muscling. This is a very severe issue because I'm honestly, someone got killed with a screwdriver in Murder, She Wrote, and I had bad dreams. I'm like really struggling with that episode. I wish I hadn't seen it.
It's outrageous.
It was scary and violent.
All right, so Ranj and I will have a quick debate. Ranj, did you go see it a second time?
I did not go. You know what? I tried to. I was in Chicago, and there's one of those theaters, the IMAX 70 millimeter.
Yep.
There's one in the Chicago area, just outside. But the only available time to see it was 2:30 a.m. So I did not.
Yes, and a Washington Post writer based in Chicago went to that showing and wrote about it. It's online. It's a great story. It's a great story. What do you find when you go to see the Odyssey at 2:30 in the morning in Chicago? It's a great story.
Oh, that's awesome.
Very, very quickly, it's a fine movie. It's just not a great movie. It's visually stunning. It's way too loud, and it's sequentially off. And there is very little emotional alteration for any of the characters other than Matt Damon's. That's my quick review. It's a 6.5, maybe a 6.7, but no higher.
Wow.
Thank you, Major.
You're the best, Major.
You know what?
Ron disagrees, everyone.
I do.
He's gnashing his teeth and like strangling some small doll off camera or something. He's
His
so
little
angry with
Major
me.
doll?
Yeah.
Yes.
I'm over here petting my Agamemnon doll. Like, don't listen to him. Don't listen to him.
By the word of Zeus, I'm correct. History will vindicate me, I swear.
Thank you, Major.
Thank you, Major.
You guys.
That's Major Garrett, Chief Washington correspondent for CBS News, back with us next Thursday on KMOX.
It's time for a $98 AC tune-up.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC, Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
The 3-2 pitch with the runner going a swing.
Ready to elevate your game? Join the MBA Sportscasters Forum on Tuesday, September 15th in St. Louis. Learn from Cardinals beat reporters, broadcasters, and Hall of Famer John Rooney as they break down play-by-play, reporting, interviewing, and covering the game. Then cap off the day with the Cardinals versus Giants at Busch Stadium. Step into the booth, sharpen your skills. Go to KMOX.com/events for details and registration.
Let me tell you something about insurance. When you sign your insurance policy, for some brokers, that's the finish line. Handshake, commission, done. Then you may not hear from them again until it's time for renewal. But your business runs all year, so do the gaps and the risk. So go to Supersure.com. If your company has more than 25 employees, whether you're the owner, CFO, or HR manager, it can be too complex to just go buy a policy online. Supersure is the super agency built for you, licensed in every state for your business insurance and employee benefits, all with year-round support for you and your team. At Supersure.com, you can access tools like fine print facts. It'll translate your current policy into plain English so you see what's covered and what's not. Plus a business value calculator so you can estimate what your business is worth so you know what actually needs protecting. Go to Supersure.com. One super agency, one powerful platform, all your policies in one place. Supersure.com. That's Supersure.com. Paid for by Supersure Insurance Agency, LLC, a licensed insurance agency.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old-timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside 4 and 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
There's a saying, it takes a group of good men to build a barn, and only one to tear it down. Well, a few Jeff City politicians are at it again, tearing things down with Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. No on 5 and 4. 5 takes our money with higher sales taxes, higher taxes on gas, guns, and groceries, a sales tax hike on rent and diesel, seed and feed. 4 takes away our constitutional right to vote and go around the establishment politicians and to stop higher taxes. Takes away our safety valve, a vote of the people to stop or reverse a dumb idea like the everything tax. I'm a no. A heck no. No. No on Amendment 5. No on Amendment 4. No on both 4 and 5. Paid for by no on the everything tax.
Today, the Cards, the Cubs.
Ameren Total Access 1220. First pitch 1:15.
Cardinals Radio. 104.1 FM KMOX.
What does this mean? Jacob is watching on YouTube, and he says that they should make Mitch one of those puppets from the Land of Confusion music videos. You talking about Genesis?
Yeah.
I don't know that video.
It's kind of creepy. There's like weird puppets of the band members.
Oh, wow. They are.
Do they look like Mitch McConnell?
No, but
you don't not look like Mitch McConnell.
Oh, okay. Wow. Jacob, thank you. You can watch on YouTube, Facebook, Twitter, and you should also know that we're the home of giving stuff away.
Yeah, we are.
And
we may not be the trusted voice, me and Ranj and I.
No.
But we are the giving voice.
We are the giving voice of St. Louis. And we have 2 pairs of tickets for Foreigner and Leonard Skinner at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater coming up August 6th, courtesy of Live Nation. And we got 2 pairs of tickets to give away. We're doing one of them right now. Now, this is very, very important.
Very important.
You cannot win these tickets if you don't have a valid email address. You have to have an email address. If you don't have an email address, find somebody to help you make one. It's free. So if you want to win these tickets, be caller number
7
to the contest line at 314-955-1120. That is Leonard Skinner and Foreigner at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on August 6th. Good luck to you.
And we are not joking. If you don't have an email, you absolutely 100% cannot win.
We have no way to deliver these tickets to you if you don't have an email address. So get an email address, dog. Let's talk a little baseball. We'll talk about the trade deadline. We'll talk about Cubs, Cardinals, and then the Cardinals, Reds coming up. Gordon Wittenmeyer, Reds beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer, joins us next.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM KMOX.
Men, if you're suffering from erectile dysfunction or PE, you're not alone. Most importantly, you don't have to live with it. Paramount Men's Medical Center restores men's sex lives in just one visit. Their painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, even when Viagra and Cialis don't work. Here's Dr. Simovitz, specialist in men's health.
Paramount Men's Medical Center's painless breakthrough treatments eliminate ED and PE, regardless of age or medical history. 98% of patients see instant results right in the office.
Men are now lasting longer than they ever imagined. And the best part, at Paramount Men's Medical Center, your consultation and first treatment are free. Qualified patients even get their testosterone checked free. Call 314-720-8444. 314-720-8444. Take control of your sex life. Call now. 314-720-8444.
Finding great candidates to hire can be like, well, trying to find a needle in a haystack. Sure, you can post your job to some job board, but then all you can do is hope the right person comes along. Which is why you should try ZipRecruiter for free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter doesn't depend on candidates finding you. It finds them for you. Its powerful technology identifies people with the right experience and actively invites them to apply to your job. You get qualified candidates fast. So while other companies might deliver a lot of hay, ZipRecruiter finds you what you're looking for. The needle in the haystack.
See why 4 out of 5 employers who post a job on ZipRecruiter get a quality candidate within the first day. ZipRecruiter, the smartest way to hire. And right now, you can try ZipRecruiter for free. That's right, free at ZipRecruiter.com/free. That's ZipRecruiter.com/free. ZipRecruiter.com/free.
ZipRecruiter. When Donald Trump needs conservative votes to help pass his agenda for Missouri, Representative Trisha Burns never answers the call. Trisha Burns has missed 370 votes. Burns is bucking President Trump's priorities. Burns did not vote to stop DEI initiatives, prevent China from owning Missouri land, defund Planned Parenthood, and Burns did not vote to ban boys from girls' sports. Trisha Burns not showing up for Missouri and President Trump. Instead, Trisha Burns spends her time pulling pranks on the Suicide Prevention Hotline. Yes, you heard that right. Trisha Burns lied to the police and staged a fake suicide emergency. She sent a series of messages to the hotline and said she, quote, had a gun to her head, end quote. When she got caught, she said there'd be no consequences because she's a politician. By August 4th, vote to show Trisha Burns that there are consequences to being bad at your job.
Let's Go Brandon PAC paid for and is responsible for the content of this advertising. Not authorized by any candidate or candidates committee. Chris Foss, Treasurer.
Celebrating 100 years of informing and entertaining. KMOX AM St. Louis. KMOX FM Hazelwood. The voice of St. Louis.
It is 11 o'clock, and it is currently partly sunny and 81 degrees in downtown St. Louis. I'm Debbie Monterey. The U.S. and Iran have been trading strikes with one another again in overnight hours. Jordan says it intercepted Iranian missiles. Egypt says a drone hit one of their ports. The U.S. also struck military targets in Iran. ABC News contributor and former Defense Department official Mick Mulroy says more countries in the region could join this war.
If you look at the attack in Egypt, that means that they could potentially challenge traffic through the Suez Canal. If that happens, then we would have 3 choke points that are effectively controlled by Iran or their proxies.
A new AP NORC poll shows most Americans say the war in Iran has not been worth fighting. Just 28% of U.S. adults now approve of how Donald Trump is handling the situation. The roller coaster ride that is weekly unemployment filings was on the upslope again last week. Here's ABC's Jim Ryan.
2 weeks ago, applications for state jobless benefits plunged to 188,000, the lowest since 1969. Last week, initial claims rose 9,000 to a seasonally adjusted 197,000. That's slightly below the rise analysts were expecting, but the summertime numbers are often volatile as manufacturers idle their plants for maintenance and retooling.
Construction jobs in the St. Louis region grew 16% from June of last year to this year, second only to the Houston area. That's according to federal labor data. Last month, there were more than 93,000 people in construction here, up from just over 80,000 this time last year, according to the Associated General Contractors of America. The association's chief economist, Ken Simonson, tells the Business Journal there are some bumps ahead that could lead to restrained hiring. Resistance to new data centers, uncertainty about future federal transportation funding, the loss of workers through deportation, and volatile materials prices. Peabody Energy's quarterly revenue increased nearly 13% to $1 billion, but they reported an operating loss of more than $105 million due to lower sales and increased costs. Peabody has received grants from the U.S. Department of Energy and the Wyoming Energy Authority to explore rare earth and critical mineral mining in the Powder River Basin. The 2-pound kitten who was rescued from an overpass in one of the City SC parking garages now has a city-themed name. That 2-month-old kitten is now named City Kitty and is available to foster at Care STL.
Sunshine mixing with clouds this afternoon, high 87. Partly cloudy tonight, low 71. Tomorrow, mostly cloudy and rather humid with some showers and thunderstorms most numerous in the afternoon and into tomorrow night. Those thunderstorms can produce hail and damaging winds and cause flash flooding. Tomorrow's high 83. From the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk, I'm AccuWeather meteorologist Joe Lundberg on 104.1 FM KMOX.
Right now, the weather sponsored by i3 Broadband. It's partly sunny, 81 degrees. With the kids home for summer, your house is a digital zoo of streaming and gaming. Switch to i3 Broadband and upgrade your summer. Head to i3broadband.com/radio or call 866-806-5485 to upgrade today because life runs better on fiber and i3 Broadband is here for you. Debbie Monterey, KMOX News.
The Chris and Amy Show is video streaming now on KMOX's YouTube, X, and Facebook pages. Click and subscribe.
As Justin Brule pitches, there's a slowly hit ground ball to the second baseman. Weatherholt unloads, and a good stretch at first by Burleson. PCA is out number 1. Burleson had some great footwork over there.
Sure did.
Helping his second baseman.
Well, so yesterday was a fun day at Busch Stadium if you're a Cardinals fan, and it was not so fun if you're a Cubs fan. And this is an interesting National League Central. I think it has been for the last couple of seasons. To talk about it with us, it is Gordon Wittenmyer, Reds beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer, also co-host of the Cubs Recap podcast with David Kaplan. We talked to Cap yesterday on the Gas House Gang. And we got a short Gas House Gang today because of afternoon baseball. So we're talking to Gordon Wittenmyer from the Enquirer now on the Quiver River Electric guest line. What's going on, Gordon? How are you?
Yeah, I'm doing great. How are you, man?
Hey, we're doing great here. Amy and I are just we're overflowing with joy after the comeback win yesterday. So let's talk about, first of all, where the Cubs are as an organization. We get close to the trade deadline here coming up, and I assume they are going to be aggressive. We think the Cardinals are probably going to be dealing players away, on the other hand, because they're in different places. So what do you see the Cubs doing here over the next few days, and for that matter, what the Cardinals end up doing?
Well, they say they're going to be aggressive, but in my mind, aggressive means you have to go after Tarik Skubal if he's available. It sounds like that's what they're going to try to do. They keep talking about, like most people do, all the smart guy front office people do this. Oh, well, we want controllable starters. And in the Cubs' case, it's because they have so many guys that are going to be gone next year that were on their staff this year. That's fine, but we don't even know if there's going to be a season next year. And the fact of the matter is, they have one of the best lineups in baseball, one of the best defensive lineups in baseball, in addition to the hitters. They might have the MVP in the National League with Shohei no longer pitching, and we don't know if he's going to come back and pitch the rest of the year. Of course, I'm talking about PCA. So you got to strike now. If anything short of getting the best pitcher that's out there is going to be a failure in my mind. They've got enough, just enough farm system that they could pull it off if they want to. And the worst thing that could happen to them is if Skubal's available and the Dodgers or the Brewers get him. So the Cubs need to, get off this controllable pitcher thing. That's nice if you can get it. And it's going to be really expensive. I'd rather go in all expensive on a guy like Tarik Skubal and have a chance to win games in series in October.
So you mentioned the Brewers there, and that's a team that they always have a strong foundation. And sometimes they'll trade guys away and they're still okay. You know, they're still playing well, or they still win a division, get a playoff spot. Can you say they're right? They are rarely aggressive though at the trade deadline in the addition way. So I mean, can you see them doing that this time, because they are one of the best teams in baseball?
Well, again, for the same reasons I outlined for the Cubs, they should be, and they've done it before. Remember, and it was a baseball generation ago, but they picked up CC Sabathia, and they rode him hard down the stretch. They pitched him on short rest, and he just kept delivering for them. So they have done this before. They do, and they have pieces they could trade too. So I would not count them out. They really need pitching. Mizorowski is going to be. We've already seen signs of it, but his workload is going to be an issue down the stretch. They're going to have to back him off. They need some help to close this thing out, and to have a chance in October. Because what have we said about the Brewers for how many years now? I mean, they'll win the division, best record in baseball. Last year or year 4, and they get bounced in the playoffs. So if they want a chance, and the time is now. I mean, they've got the team for it. Again, they're like the Cubs in the way they catch the ball. So, it's good, and this is their formula, right? A good pitching staff becomes closer to great because of the way they catch the ball. If they can get a frontline starter at the deadline, we'll watch out for them. I mean, they already have Mizorowski.
Gordon, you cover another interesting team in the Cincinnati Reds, and that's one I'm not sure what to make of, because I always think back to their team president. I think it was a couple of years ago, and he said something to the effect of, Reds fans should be thankful we're here, or I don't know exactly what it was, but it was a comment.
It was, it was where you gonna go?
Yeah, that's
oh, jeez.
Yeah, because people are upset that they don't. They put together a good little foundation, and they don't do a ton to help it out, kind of like the Pirates have been operating. So there's got to be a lot of frustration there among the fan base, right?
Oh, especially since that guy got a promotion this year.
So what?
Yeah, go ahead.
What is it with them, and do they have a direction?
Well, yeah. I mean, right about the time that guy was saying that stuff and putting his foot in his mouth, the baseball ops department was going in a completely new direction, and it was something that at least some of the fans had been crying for a while. Go ahead, just forget chasing these windmills. Just tear this thing down and build it with young players like some of these other teams have done. And just go a different direction. And they did. They put together a really good pitching staff, a lot of it homegrown. They broke through in 2023 with a bunch of young players that debuted. Ellie De La Cruz, the marquee name among them. And then it didn't go anywhere. I mean, they 2024, they go in with these high expectations, fall on their face, fire the manager. They put something together, bring Terry Francona in. They got to the playoffs last year. And then I thought they had a really good offseason, really bolstering every area that needed it, and coming in with what looked like improved health in the pitching staff, and first place in April. And then nothing since then. I don't know what to make of them in the moment. I do think that their direction is, pitching, and they don't play enough defense. They don't get enough hitting. The big problem is they've had too many injuries in the pitching staff, and they haven't gotten enough bullpen. So they do have a direction. They got hit with a massive amount of injuries this year, but they still haven't been good enough in some areas they expected to be. But they might have. I mean, in terms of young players, they might have at least as many frontline guys as anybody else in the division. when you talk about Ellie De La Cruz, Hunter Green, Chase Burns, Sal Stewart coming up now. I mean, these are all-star caliber players, and it just hasn't. It didn't produce what I thought it would this year. They're the only team in the division with a losing record, and at one point they were in first place a month into the season. So go figure.
There was a pretty interesting turn of events at Busch Stadium yesterday. You had Pete Crow Armstrong hit that go-ahead home run, and it was he pimped it going around the bases, and he earned every bit of that. And then the Cardinals come back and end up winning. And looking at the betting odds right now, Shohei Ohtani is the favorite to win the MVP this year, with PCA the second favorite to win at, if you're a betting person, he's a plus 100. How likely is it, do you think, that he ends up winning that award, or will Shohei end up getting it as he usually does?
Well, at one point it looked like a foregone conclusion, right? Because what's Shohei, 8-2 with a 1.75 ERA or something like that, 14 starts, something like that. If he made something between 25 and 30 starts, I mean, between that and his hitting, there was no way he was going to lose. But that now he may not pitch again the rest of the year. Dave Roberts says, well, at some point we think he'll pitch again. Okay, fine. But now he's a DH. And whatever numbers he puts up, it's still a DH the rest of the year against a guy who's, at least in the conversation, for the best defensive player at any position in baseball. And he's going to be a 30-30 guy again, plus anything else he does offensively. And here's my kicker. If this thing's close down the stretch, if this is a vote that's like, oh man, you're on the fence, it's going to be a really tight race between these two guys, the difference might be Jed Hoyer. The difference might be if Jed Hoyer gets the kind of pitching that can put these guys in position to catch the Brewers. Because if they can catch the Brewers, and this guy's the best player on the team, and they're one of the best couple of teams in the league, that's going to bolster his credentials instead of them being a wild card, even if it's the top wild card. Certainly, if it's the second wild card like it was last year, and I guess they hosted the first round last year. But if they wind up a second wild card and play on the road, he can still make a strong case. He's doing everything he can do, but I really think it's kind of interesting that the front office might be able to help one of their players win an MVP.
Gordon, appreciate it. Love talking baseball with you. Thank you, my friend.
You got it. Anytime.
Gordon Whitmire, Reds beat writer for the Cincinnati Enquirer and also co-host of the Cubs Recap podcast. That is with David Kaplan. And if you were listening to Gas House Gang yesterday, Cap joined the show with Tom Ackerman and me. We're going to have a very short Gas House Gang today because at 12:20 we have the pregame show. So we'll give you about 10, 15 minutes of Gas House material of the Gaseous Gang. Mm-hmm. And then first pitch, 1:15, Cardinals, Cubs wrap up their series. Cardinals have an opportunity to split the series today after a really fun walk-off win for them last night. That was awesome. Really fun night at Busch Stadium last night. And your final opportunity to see the Cubs this season and to turn your back on Pete Crow Armstrong. This is your opportunity to do
Last
it today.
chance.
That's right. It's Chris and Amy on KMOX.
Congress doesn't need more politicians. For nearly 30 years, Joan Von Dross dedicated her life to helping students learn, grow, and succeed. Now she's running for Congress to fight for lower healthcare costs, stronger public schools, and a more affordable future for Missouri families. Teachers solve problems. Politicians play politics.
I'm Joan Von Dross, Democrat from Missouri CD2, and I approve this message. Vote for me on August 4th.
Paid for by Von Dross for Congress.
Liberty Mutual customizes your car and home insurance. And now we're customizing this rush hour ad to keep you calm, which could help your driving. And science says therapy is great for a healthy mindset. So enjoy this 14-second session on us. I think you've done everything right and absolutely nothing wrong. In fact, anything that hasn't gone your way could probably be blamed on your father not being emotionally available because his father wasn't emotionally available, and so on. And now that you're calm and healing, you're probably driving better too.
Liberty, 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 liberty. This year, America celebrates 250 years. 2.5 centuries of courage, sacrifice, and family stories passed down from one generation to the next. Hi, I'm Nick Mako.
And I'm Adam Baselogger, founders of Legacy Box. Your family's piece of the American story is sitting in an attic or closet right now, trapped on aging VHS tapes, camcorder tapes, film reels, and fading photos.
Those boxes hold moments you can never recreate. Your wedding day, your children's voices when they were little, grandparents coming back to life on screen.
Over 2 million families have trusted Legacy Box. And we've just partnered with the USO to digitize fragile handwritten letters from World War II, helping preserve American history for future generations.
As America turns 250, remember that your family is a part of the American story. Preserving those voices, faces, and moments is a part of your responsibility to the next generation. Don't let them disappear on your watch.
Visit legacybox.com/radio for our amazing America 250 sale. That's legacybox.com/radio to save.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC, Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
Are you having trouble hearing? Hearing loss can devastate the quality of your life. Now, there's an affordable fix for you or your loved one. Rated the best hearing aids of 2026 by Forbes Health, Audion Hearing has the highest quality hearing aids at the lowest prices, starting at just $98 a pair.
I actually like them better than my old $5,000 hearing aid.
I could not believe how my hearing and life changed.
Join over 1 million happy customers by going to audionhearing.com. That's AUDIEN hearing.com.
My name is Whitney Allen, and I'm a widow. My husband, Ryan, died. We never thought we'd ever have to use life insurance, but the unexpected happened. With Ethos, signing up was fast and 100% online. You can get a quote in seconds, apply in minutes, and get same-day coverage. No medical exams, and you can get up to $3 million worth of coverage. I'm grateful we were prepared.
Get your free quote at ethos.com/radio. That's ethos.com/radio. Paid spokesperson. Time spent on application may vary. Online health questions required.
SNL Coin. We buy gold and silver coins, silver and gold jewelry. Also buying gold-filled and silver plates. Before you sell, call SNL. 314-544-3600. 314-544-3600. SNL Coin.
When you enter a place of business, you're owed a legal duty that the place of business is safe for you to shop in. I'm John Morgan of Morgan & Morgan. If you suffered an injury at a place of business, our duty is to protect you after that harm. Morgan & Morgan, forthepeople.com.
Still here, still trusted. The voice of St. Louis, KMOX.
Hey, congratulations. I forgot to congratulate Sherry from Edwardsville. And Sherry from Edwardsville is going to see Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner August 6th at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater, thanks to Live Nation. And Sherry apparently has an active email address.
That's great. That is unbelievably great news.
I think it's, huge news.
Huge news.
We might lead the show with it tomorrow.
Because you might be thinking, who doesn't have an email? Well, you're not going to believe this.
Our last winner before that. So you do have to have an email address, and we do have one more pair of tickets to give away. Got to be listening before the show is over at 12 o'clock. Cool?
Cool. Okay.
Oh, are we doing the...
Yeah.
Are we talking about this guy?
Yes, we are.
All right.
Do you want to set it up?
Yes. So Bryce Harper, who could have been a Cardinal years ago, they opted not to do that.
Really?
Yeah. So Bryce Harper is now...
Matt's not one to talk.
I'm not one to talk. They should have.
They should have. They should have. Sounds like Hancock. There's like 3 Hancocks in here. All right, so Bryce Harper and the Philadelphia Phillies, currently they're a playoff team, right? I mean, they're not leading their division, but they are in wild card position as it stands right now. And they're a good baseball team. They've got a guy on their team in Kyle Schwarber who might end up being the MVP. He's in the running for that as well. Anyway, so they've got the trade deadline coming up here, and they've lost a lot of games. They've lost 8 of their last 10, and it's not going well. So after a game a couple of days ago, he was asked about what they should do with the trade deadline coming up on Monday, asking if they needed help, and here's what he said.
Yeah, I think we need some help. But I think we've proved, pretty much all year we've done a pretty good job. But anytime you can, get some help in here and reinforcements, I think it helps.
Do you think that help would be best coming in the form of an arm or a bat?
I think both. I think obviously everybody knows what we need, so I think I've said it over the last couple of days.
All right, so
they do now if they didn't before.
Dude, okay. It is very rare, and maybe it has happened, but it's not very typical that any player on any team says, trade for somebody, we need help, this roster's not good enough.
Because that's what he's saying is, we're not good enough.
Right, we don't have enough good players. So he's saying that some of his teammates are not good enough. And,
right.
And yeah, while that might be, guys might know that. They might know if they are lacking, but they're never going to say it. It's just
that would be like one of the Cardinals, but not even one of the Cardinals, but a leader of the Cardinals saying, yeah, we're not good enough this year.
A comp would be if Albert in his prime when he was here, if he would have said that. That would have been a decent comp. Cardinals don't have one right now because it's a young team. So anybody who says that, it would kind of be weird, I think. But Harper's been around for a long time. He's one of their best players. Yearly he is. So, but just for him to say that.
And that's the thing, because I get it. It's nice not to have canned answers. You want honesty from players. But every now and then a player will say something where you kind of cringe because you think, that might be true, but that should stay in the clubhouse. Because like you said, here's a veteran presence on the team kind of throwing certain teammates or a lot of teammates under the bus because, hey, we're just not good enough. And the thing is, it's not like this is a team that, my comp would be like hockey, but, like the Buffalo Sabres that missed the playoffs for like 15, 16 years, toxic culture, veteran players leaving left and right. That's not what this Phillies team is. So we saw this morning because I asked you about their payroll, knowing that they have a big payroll.
Yeah, it's top 5.
Top 5. So you have the Dodgers, the Mets, the Yankees, the Blue Jays, and the Phillies. This is a good team with a good roster, and it to me would not go over well in the clubhouse if you have a veteran leader telling the media we're not good enough. It makes you feel like he's throwing in the towel.
Yeah, I've not seen a guy do that. And if you're on the team with him and he says something like that, I imagine there are a handful of guys who are thinking, was he talking about me? Am I one of the guys that's not good enough? I don't know that I like it. I think the fans probably do. His manager, Don Mattingly, not particularly happy with it, though he did try to downplay it a little bit. But he said that, essentially saying that, we think we're good, and that's probably not the way to go about it, but wasn't that big of a deal either that he said it. I think that it would rub a lot of people the wrong way. And for Harper, that's somebody who doesn't always get along with teammates. I think the guys generally like him, but every now and then he had the famous Jonathan Papelbon thing from years ago, but Papelbon was kind of a doofus too. So maybe they were just two personalities who didn't belong together. But I do think that for the most part, if you're a leader on a team, I don't think you say that.
No, and I think there's a way to say it to get the same point across without saying, I think we need some help. When you say, I think we need help, and then they ask you arm or bat, and you say both.
We stink. We need everything.
Yeah, it sounds like you're terrible. Do you know what a more diplomatic way would say? Hey, we're asking you about the trade deadline. And you would respond by saying, I love this group of guys. I love this team. Of course, anytime the owners want to add to it, you're excited because it shows their faith in us. Whenever you're adding, it shows their faith in us. Where you're spinning it, where, of course, you want the addition, but you're saying it's because we already have a great group and they believe in us. Anytime you can add to it, amen. But the way he said it sounded like we're floundering. We have no help. We have no hope. We need help.
But I do know this. Teams, when they find out, players, when they find out that a deal is being made and they're acquiring somebody of real substance, I know the players love that. Now, occasionally, and that is just a, hey, we're trading for this guy. Oh, my God, you're getting a former Cy Young winner or a huge bat and adding him to the lineup. There's an initial excitement over it, but then also there's a little bit of sadness depending on who you're losing, and it could be somebody who in the clubhouse is popular. So it's not like a one-size-fits-all kind of reaction that you're going to get from players. But for the most part, if you do add at the trade deadline and you're a good team, that's a shot in the arm to the rest of the guys on the team. I mean, they might be sad about losing somebody off the roster, but man, they love it because what's being indicated to them is, we believe in you. The front office said, we believe in you so much, we're going to give you a little bit of help because we think you can go far. Now, as it pertains to the Cardinals, they're not in the same situation. You could have made the argument a month and a half ago that, yeah, maybe for a team that's in a wild card spot right now, if you make some kind of deal and make an addition to the team, that might really help the clubhouse inject a little bit of energy, positivity into the team. Yeah, maybe, but that's just not where they are. They're young. They are continuing to rebuild. They are going to make trades. I'll be surprised if we get through Monday now, where the trade deadline is, and they have not traded away anybody off the major league roster. I think that's going to happen. So we will find out for sure what they do. I think Dustin May probably is out. I don't know about Herrera, though his name has been coming up. I think they trade a reliever, maybe a couple. But the Cardinals, I do think, are going to be active here before Monday.
In the meantime, get your phones out, 314-436-7900, because I'm sure you'll want to chime in on our next issue that we've got. Has to do with liking Instagram photos accidentally.
Uh-oh, that's a problem.
Yeah, that's a problem, especially if you used to date that person.
Yeah, not good.
Not great.
Let us know. And also, we will be giving away tickets as well. We'll tell you how and when that can happen here on the Chris and Amy Show on KMOX.
The trade deadline is fast approaching, and Cardinals news could break at any moment. Will they buy? Will they sell? Every move shapes the future. Stay with KMOX Sports for breaking news, trade rumors, and expert analysis. KMOX is where you hear from the people making it.
There are things that pop up within a couple hours of the deadline that didn't seem to be at all possible.
On air, on X, at KMOX Sports, the voice of your Cardinals. KMOX.
When pain starts to slow you down, BJC Healthcare and WashU Medicine orthopedic specialists are here to help. Nationally recognized leaders in orthopedics deliver care that's informed by research and personalized for you. From everyday aches to complex injuries and recovery, we're here to help you get back to doing what you love. Find an orthopedic specialist today. Visit bjc.org/orthopedics or call 314-362-9355.
Now, KMOX weather from the Saliga Heating and Cooling Weather Desk.
A gorgeous day to be at Busch Stadium, so get out there, folks. 83 degrees. Right now, the high for today is 87. Tonight's the clouds breaking up and a low of 70.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Brought to you by Liberty Mutual Insurance. Why pay full insurance when you can customize and save? Switch to Liberty Mutual and they'll customize your auto and home insurance so you only pay for what you need.
Liberty, 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 liberty.
Bill, you're an old politician.
Yup, sure am.
So you know the old timers warned that someone trying to sell you a pig in a poke was a con man.
Well, sure.
Well, no offense, Tom, but your Politicians Amendment 5 is a pig in a poke, allowing politicians to raise our taxes without a vote of the people. And the Politicians Amendment 4 takes away our power to do anything about it. Well, let's look at what's really inside 4 and 5.
Oh, don't do that.
5 hits hardest seniors and those struggling financially with new taxes on services like doctor visits, in-home care, and rent. Sales taxes could more than triple. For up to 80% of Missourians, it's a tax hike. And Amendment 4 ends majority rule, effectively ending our power to stop corrupt and out-of-control politicians.
Slick plan, huh?
No, Tom. 4 and 5 are schemes that hurt citizens and transfer our power and our money to politicians and lobbyists. That's why I'm voting no on the Politicians Amendments 4 and 5, paid for by Missourians for Fair Government.
Man, I love this place. I've been surfing here since I was a kid. Now, seeing my grandson out on the water, it means everything to me. Watching him and taking in the blue waves, the sea breeze, the blurry horizon.
If you have geographic atrophy, or GA, subtle changes in vision could mean it's progressing toward irreversible vision loss. Izervay is proven to slow GA progression and could help preserve your vision for longer, so you may keep seeing the world around you. Izervay, or avacincaptad pegol, is an eye injection. Don't take it if you have an infection or active swelling in or around your eye. Izervay can cause eye infection, retinal detachment, or increased risk of wet AMD. Izervay may cause blood in the white of the eye, blurred vision, or a temporary increase in eye pressure. Do not drive or use machinery until vision has recovered after an eye injection or exam. Ask your retina specialist how you can slow your GA with Izervay. To learn more, call 1-855-IZERVAY or go to izervay.com. Paid for by Astellas Pharma.
Right now, inflation is squeezing your budget. Global events are shaking markets overnight, and if you're close to retirement, you don't get unlimited do-overs. That's why Steve All and the team at the All Financial Group are hosting Retirement Simplified. Find out if your retirement strategy can survive today's economy. Rising costs, market volatility, political uncertainty, and the questions most people avoid. Could you outlive your money? When should you file for Social Security? Is your 401k carrying too much risk? These aren't hypothetical concerns. They're happening right now. Retirement Simplified, August 27th and September 1st. It is complimentary and you must qualify to attend. Call now 636-230-8824 or visit yourmoneymattersstl.com. Investment advisory products and services made available through Impact Partnership Wealth, LLC, a registered investment advisor. Neither the firm nor its agents or representatives may give tax or legal advice. Individuals should consult with a qualified professional for guidance before making any purchasing decisions. All Financial Group is not affiliated with or endorsed by the U.S. government or any governmental agency.
St. Louis, are you ready to rock? AC/DC is bringing the Power Up Tour to the Dome at America Center Tuesday, September 8th. Hear legendary hits like Back in Black, Thunderstruck, and Highway to Hell, performed live by one of the greatest rock bands of all time. Don't wait on tickets. They're still available at Ticketmaster.com. AC/DC, the Power Up Tour, Tuesday, September 8th. For more information, go to KMOX.com/events.
This is the Gas House Gang from KMOX.
Bernie Nicholas and the Gas House Gang, today at noon on America's Sports Voice, KMOX.
If you have not followed us on Twitter yet, at Chris Amy KMOX, you need to. We're also on Instagram, too. Chris Amy KMOX. Find us there. But on our Twitter account, we've got our question of the week, and the question is, who is the biggest traitor to St. Louis? Traitor, Traitor. Is it the Rams or is it Panera Bread? And you can vote on that poll until tomorrow. We'll have the final results. But it's overwhelming right now. I'm not surprised. I'm not going to tell you which way, but it is. You need to go vote, and you have until tomorrow to do it. And we got a pair of tickets to give away to see Foreigner and Lynyrd Skynyrd. We'll do that soon.
Not now.
No.
Definitely not now. So we were talking about Instagram and when you're scrolling through Instagram, and I think with Facebook too, but is it fair to say that we've all stalked someone on Facebook or Instagram? Like not
Of
stalked
course.
someone like a stalker, but
Everybody.
like looked up somebody from your past,
Nobody has not done that.
right?
So,
Or if someone if you ask someone out or someone asks you out, you're like, oh, thanks. You get their name, and the first thing you do is try to find them on social media to see what they're about.
that's right. People go to
Yeah.
Chris Amy KMOX on Instagram.
That's right.
And they're like, let's
Oh,
see
look
what
at
these two
two.
idiots
Oh.
are about. And they go, Amy
Oh.
Markscore, she's got hers. Chris Ranji's
Yeah.
got his account. They're probably looking right now and about to heart a bunch of old photos.
Or if your friend has a new boyfriend or girlfriend, you're like, okay, I'm going to check this guy out.
And
who is
sometimes-
she going out with?
Sometimes on accident. And it is one of my... I hate this feature so much, and I wish there was a way to turn it off. But the double tap for a like, I
Nope.
don't need a damn double tap. I'll hit because sometimes my thumb twitches
Yeah.
when I'm scrolling, and if
Yeah.
I just like I'm hovering over the photo, like sometimes it just happens, and you double tap and it's a like, and you go, no. I'm not trying. I want to punch whoever in the face, whoever is responsible for the double tap like on Instagram. Nobody likes that.
I had
Nobody likes that.
A bad dream that I accidentally liked someone's. I woke up. It was I dream weird if it's a nap during the day, and this was a nap dream that I liked someone's Instagram post, and it started this whole thing, and it was very awkward. And I woke up thinking, wait, I didn't really do that, did I? I had a bad dream about it.
Well, it's infuriating when it does happen, and it gives you the kind of panic that you just can't imagine until you do it for yourself. Adam Mosseri is the CEO of Instagram, and he addresses what happens if you accidentally like somebody's old photo.
Have you ever been swiping through someone's content from a long time ago, and then by accident you liked that photo or reel, and then you quickly unliked it because you didn't mean to do it? Well, if you have and you were wondering what happens, I thought I'd create a short video explaining exactly what goes down. So when you do like someone's photo, we send them a notification to let them know. But there's actually two types of notifications. There's the phone notification, and then there's the Instagram notification. When you unlike that photo, we can delete that Instagram notification, but we cannot delete that phone notification. So it'll still say on their lock screen, Adam liked that photo. But if they tap on it, there's no record of it anywhere in the app, so it might be a little bit confusing. If we could delete that phone notification, we would, but we can't. So just make sure as you're scrolling through someone's content from many, many years ago that you're careful not to like anything by mistake. Hopefully this clarifies things a little bit.
No, it doesn't help
doesn't
me at
help
all.
that
we
much.
knew that. We've already, because when it happens to you, you'll get a notification, like he said, on your phone lock screen that you liked a photo or someone liked one of your photos, but then when you go to Instagram or that someone requested requested to be a friend on Instagram. And then when you go there, the notification, the like isn't there, the request isn't there because they obviously backtracked, but you still got that notification on your lock screen. And it's awful because we've all done reconnaissance. We've all creeped on people to see how's that guy doing, ex-girlfriend, ex-boyfriend, whatever it may be. But when it pops up, and even though like we said, it's a totally normal thing, everybody does it, when it pops up on their phone that Amy Markscores liked this photo. What it says is, Amy Markscores was thinking about you, and she was looking at pictures of you. Oh!
Ew.
It's so creepy. And she was trying to see what you were up to, or this guy was trying to see what you were up to. And he took time out of his day. He stopped what he was doing because he thought, I'm going to check on Chris Ranji, see what Chris Ranji's been up to, and then took action. It's so humiliating.
So the fix is, well, it's not a perfect fix because sometimes I'll accidentally tap the heart icon. That does happen. But I think a better fix is just do away with this double tap thing because there are probably a lot of inadvertent taps on that. But no, it doesn't really help. It doesn't really help.
Do you ever, because I'll scroll through Twitter, although I did delete Twitter from my phone, but I would go back to my profile and go to my likes to make sure I hadn't accidentally liked something while you're scrolling. Because if you scroll, you're picking your finger up, right? You set it back down on the screen and
and you can
scroll
set
it.
down on the heart.
You can set it down on the heart and accidentally like something that's offensive, or because I'll tell you what, Twitter is 90% offensive now. That's why I deleted it from my phone. Is it still very useful for this job, for getting real-time information about politics and sports and news? Absolutely. From trusted sources, absolutely. But is it just full of so much junky spam? Yeah, it's gross. And a lot of hateful content. And so I do check my likes because I'm afraid that by scrolling, I accidentally liked something.
A message from a listener, 314-436-7900, says, what's bad is when you accidentally like something bad. Like if somebody dies or is hurt, when I see it, I think people just don't know how to take it off of there or make a sad face talking about Facebook liking or disliking. And yeah, I get that. Because maybe on accident you hit a button, you're like, okay, a person dies, and you like the post, but then it's like, no, I don't like it. I'm acknowledging it. I'm acknowledging that I saw it.
Yeah.
So I get that. Another texter says, here's a better fix. Get rid of social media.
Great idea.
Nah, I don't want it to go away. I kind of wish there were some limits on it somehow. I don't know what the limits would look like, but if it weren't just so pervasive, if people weren't living their lives for social media, I think that would be better.
Mm-hmm.
Where people who spend all day looking at, what kind of content can I make? Can I take a photo here? Oh, good. Here, take a photo of this. Photo. Like if that to me is, we don't need a society like that. And there are too many people who live for social media.
This was a news story, so I didn't see the original content, but they were asking Gen Zers if they would go on vacation or do certain things or go out if they couldn't post it on social media.
Mm-hmm.
I think the question was, if you got a free week vacation, but you weren't allowed to take any pictures and post it to social media, would you still do it? And a lot of them said no.
Yeah, I think, the numbers were overwhelming that they would.
Yeah.
I could get away with that easy. I'd be perfectly
but
fine
you're
not
not
taking
Gen
any
Z.
photos. Yeah.
You're Gen X. That's the point.
Yeah. But, I'm
These
still
are
a human.
kids.
I think we could.
These are young people that I think they really do live their life for crafting an image, and they're like, what's the point of having a great
It can't be
experience
the
if you
majority,
can't
though.
post it? No, like I said, I never saw the original post because it was through a news story. But
Another texter here says, y'all sound insecure with these tapping like takes. So, okay. No, I don't know that there are many people. I think this person, if they accidentally like an old photo from 3 years ago on an Instagram post, this person who's texting in is in the very small minority of people who don't care. I bet it's 95% of people who accidentally like a photo that they don't mean to because they're Facebook stalking or Instagram stalking. They have a moment of terror. I guarantee you.
Well, because when you see the like, there's no context for why that person liked your photo. So all you know is, oh my gosh, it's 10:30 at night, and this guy liked my random photo from 3 years ago. Not knowing that, like in a situation, like this is where I get most nervous. Let's say you're hanging out with friends and they ask you about somebody. You're like, I don't know. And like, yeah, remember that time? Or you're talking about it. It's not like you're being all dreamy about the person. It's you literally are talking to friends or a family member who asks. So you remember, and you pull up the Instagram and you show them. And so for you, it's not like you're being creepy and liking their photos. Someone else brought that person into the conversation. You had a story or you wanted to show them something. You pull up their social media and you accidentally like the photo. That person has no context for why you liked their photo at 10:30 at night.
That's right.
But it comes across as creepy always.
Nobody wants that unless you're a weirdo. Unless you're one of those people who just intentionally goes back.
I'm glad you're here.
Yeah, like, I'm looking at your old stuff. What are you going to do about it?
It was really creepy the way I said, Avery Barkscores was thinking about you.
Hey,
that was so much worse than I intended it to be.
You saw Tony Romo get arrested for a DUI?
I heard about it.
After a golf event. And so the body cam footage came out. Tony Romo, the old quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys and now an analyst on CBS. So he gets, I mean, the DUI is not funny, but the fact was he gets arrested. They take him back to the station and they do the field sobriety test with him. And he's clearly drunk. You can tell. And then so this is like the very end of it. And this is from the body cam.
Did I pass this test?
You turn around.
No, I didn't. Huh?
So he's asking the female officer, so did I pass the test? She tells him to turn around so she can put cuffs on him. And he's like, well, I guess not. Guess I didn't pass.
So, because
Poor Tony.
I did see a few comments on the video on how some people were impressed with him and said he actually did pretty well.
And he was nice about it.
But it's so easy not to drink and drive. It's so easy.
Especially if you're Tony Romo.
Yes, you have no excuse. Like you can take an Uber. You can take the black Uber Black, where it's like fancy.
Yeah, the black cars. Yeah.
Yeah. And so you can take Uber Black, which is the super fancy, or you can just have a private driver because you're Tony Romo.
Yeah,
you have $100 million. It's very easy. Have a friend. Go out with a friend. Whatever it is, it's easy not to drive drunk.
It is so easy. It might be expensive, but that is better than a DUI. It's better than killing somebody or killing yourself. So you've got to be smart about it. We do have one more pair of tickets to give away for Foreigner and Lynyrd Skynyrd. Lynyrd Skynyrd at Hollywood Casino Amphitheater on August 6th. That is coming up next week. And now is your opportunity to win. We need caller number 6 to the contest line at 314-955-1120. The tickets are courtesy of Live Nation. You must have a valid email address to win these tickets. If you don't, you are out of luck. Good luck.
Broadcasting from the Scott Credit Union Studio, 104.1 FM, KMOX.
I'm Bill Eigel. I'm a no on data centers. Last year, when a new hyperscale data center was up for a vote in St. Charles City, I'm the only candidate for county executive who stood with you in opposition. Meanwhile, Steve Ellman was writing op-eds in support of data centers. In fact, he spent $400,000 of your taxpayer money to identify 6 locations just for data centers in St. Charles County. I'm Bill Eigel, and if you don't want data centers in our county, then I'm asking for your vote on August 4th.
Paid for by Eigel from Missouri. Lisa Borchers, Treasurer.
A common question I receive is, how is the market right now? It just seems so volatile. Hi, I'm Christina Straight, owner of Straight Realty. If you want to buy or sell but feel overwhelmed by the whiplash of the market, then let's talk. With over 23 years as a broker, I have the exact experience you need to help you navigate this tricky market. Call me at 314-441-4444. 314-441-all-4s. And remember, why pay more than 2?
Commissions are not regulated and are negotiable. Straight Realty is a licensed broker in the state of Missouri.
Can you believe politicians nearly doubled state spending since 2019? Yeah, that's twice the rate of inflation.
What do we get for all that extra spending? Nothing.
Yeah, and get this, over 200 loopholes are buried in our tax code, written by lobbyists for wealthy corporations.
Our tax code is rigged against us.
We get taxed on our paycheck, our home, everything we buy.
I guess somebody's got to pay for all that spending.
That's why we need Amendment 5. It puts politicians on a leash.
Forces them to cut taxes and control spending, whether they like it or not.
Amendment 5 closes the loopholes, eliminates income taxes, cuts property taxes, and gives $3,000 a year to average working families.
We decide, not the politicians.
Amendment 5 is the biggest tax cut in Missouri history.
I'm voting yes on Amendment 5. Paid for by Missouri Promise PAC. Mark Ellinger, Treasurer.
Oh, hey, Sarah. Did you hear my daughter Katie got Camper of the Week?
That's a big deal.
We got a big deal too, right, Mom?
Honey, shh.
What's that?
Okay, that Hyundai Santa Fe, I only paid.
Nice.
Deal's so right, it almost feels wrong. The Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Get 0% APR for 60 months, plus 0 payments for 90 days, or 1.9% APR for 72 months on the Hyundai Tucson, Santa Fe, or Santa Fe Hybrid during the Hyundai Getaway Sales Event. Hurry, offer ends August 3rd. Call 562-314-4603 for details.
New Game Plus with Oxy makes your laundry smell incredible and fights stubborn smells.
like the ones your dog Biscuit brought into your freshly made bed last night. But you washed that all away with Gain, and now you're drifting asleep to the scent and sound of waves. Ah, nope, that's the dog licking your ear.
Biscuit.
It just might be our greatest scent ever, now with odor fighting power. New Gain Plus with Oxy.
O'Reilly Auto Parts gets you back to savings. Pick up select Royal Purple fuel system additives. Buy one, get one free. Plus receive 4 times O Rewards points.
O'Reilly Auto Parts.
Snakes, zombies, public speaking. The list of fears is endless. But the real danger is in your hand when you're behind the wheel. Distracted driving is what's really scary and even deadly. Eyes forward. Don't drive distracted. Brought to you by NHTSA and the Ad Council.
There's a saying, it takes a group of good men to build a barn, and only one to tear it down. Well, a few Jeff City politicians are at it again, tearing things down with Amendment 5 and Amendment 4. No on 5 and 4. 5 takes our money with higher sales taxes, higher taxes on gas, guns, and groceries, a sales tax hike on rent and diesel, seed, and feed. 4 takes away our constitutional right to vote and go around the establishment politicians and to stop higher taxes. Takes away our safety valve, a vote of the people to stop or reverse a dumb idea like the everything tax. I'm a no. A heck no. No. No on Amendment 5. No on Amendment 4. No on both 4 and 5. Paid for by no on the everything tax.
Chris Ronchi, Amy Markscores, because life is too short for boring radio. 104.1 FM, KMOX.
Congratulations, Debbie from St. Charles. Won those tickets to go see Lynyrd Skynyrd and Foreigner. Debbie, way to go,
Nice
Debbie.
work, Debbie.
Yeah.
You know how we were talking about liking random photos on Instagram?
Yes. It just happened. So
We got
yes.
a texter who doesn't get it. The texter, a 512, says, photos you post on social media are never random. No. The likes are random. When you're liking a random photo, like you accidentally like any photo, a random photo, not that they posted random photos. That was the point of the conversation, is that the like was random.
Yes.
Not that they're posting random photos. We're liking random photos, meaning it's not like we picked out that picture to like. But man, Matt had a good idea when we were talking about this. If you're showing someone, a friend, a parent, a family member that you don't trust, as far as tapping on the screen, Matt said old people always tap on the screen.
Oh, and okay, I think most people who are on their phone use their thumbs to scroll.
Yes.
Above, I don't know, age 50, the index finger becomes the primary scrolling digit.
Like this, like.
And it's kind of like how a woodpecker pecks at a tree. There's lots of like very violent poking with your index finger. So I think if you're going to show a person above the age of 50 a photo and you do not want them to like it, screenshot the photo and then show it to them through the Photos app. That way they're not on the Instagram app or Facebook or whatever. They're just looking at a screenshot, so they cannot swipe or scroll or like or double tap, whatever.
But then they accidentally get into your photo album. And then they see what you've got in there. Yeah, all the nudes. All the nudies, and grandma sees them.
Have you seen the T-shirts that say "send nudes" and it's like a bowl of ramen?
It's funny.
I do like that.
I've not seen that one.
Well, anyway, but yeah, I think that's a really good idea, Matt. I think that's safety. It's kind of a redundancy safety.
Yeah, you're
because
welcome.
sometimes I just hold up the phone and I'm like, don't touch it. You're not allowed to touch
Yeah,
it.
look at it from afar.
Just look at it from there.
Like you're talking to a child?
Yes.
Who do you do that to?
I'm not saying.
Your mom?
No, I'm not saying.
Who?
Older family members.
An older family member.
Yes, like
Okay.
Matt said, some older family members you just have to like.
And you probably have a lot of older, jittery family members, don't you?
Why would you say that?
Because you're jittery. You probably have some. There's got to be some of that.
I'm not jittery. I'm anxious.
And anxious people accidentally double tap. You got to be very careful with them.
Because they're all shaky. Oh, no.
Tomorrow on the show, we'll have Hancock and Kelly. They'll start things off with us at 9 a.m., and we are looking forward to having them on the show. Comedian and actor TJ Miller will be here in studio as well. Got a lot coming. Jen Cease will be on the show. We'll talk a little footy with her. Anything else good?
No.
I think
That's it?
City's
Okay.
winning.
They are. They've been
City's
playing a
doing
lot
pretty
better.
well. Yeah.
So we'll talk to her about that. Maybe they can get their way into the playoffs. They've still got a lot of time, so that could happen. All right, coming up next, a short Gas House Gang before a pregame show at 12:20, and then first pitch Cardinals-Cubs at 1:15 here on KMOX.
Although any of these would be problematic if
Okay.
you stuffed them in an orifice of any kind.
Time now for today's Spotlight on Money, sponsored by Ethos.